Hey everybody!
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Tuesday Night Legacy.
That's what we're doing. That Tuesday night thing. This is the fun stage where we're not even live yet for some reason.
Oh, we're not?
Well, it just takes a minute.
I'm pretty sure we're live. I think you have to like reload that because it says we're no longer hosting.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. For those of you who are jumping into this, rewatching a show, rewatching some Tuesday night, since we don't have anybody in chat yet, we're going to get started here with 4 rounds of Legacy coming at you. And we've got some pairings already, so we're going to get players seated down in just a minute.
What the heck is Pinecone control?
Make sure we're up everywhere we're supposed to be up.
Yeah.
While we hang out here for a minute, get people in here. It started slow
Looks good.
last Friday too.
Last Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not up yet?
Oh.
Here we are. This is good. This is good TV. We're all checking our
Right.
phones.
Yeah. That's what we do here, guys. No. We'll start some.
We're
some
watching. We're
magic here
watching
for a
the.
minute.
We actually have to watch on the. We'll watch on this on our phones and then relay it to you out in the real world here.
Is that what we're gonna do?
That's what we're gonna do. We're just streaming at each table directly to our phones.
Yeah.
We're up with 0 viewers.
Perfect.
Except for those of you who are watching this over.
Yeah.
Because you came in from the start. Start hitting that plus 15 button now. So Bryce, you did not go to Richmond?
No.
Neither did I.
I watched remotely from home.
What did you think?
It was fun. I saw bits and pieces.
Yeah.
In and out of it, but it was fun.
I had a busy Labor Day weekend. Unfortunately, couldn't sit down and watch stuff. James on Eldrazi Post.
The Hackberg, how are you, sir?
Hey, Matt. Isn't there a plus 15 to skip ahead button if you're watching a VOD? Or plus 10 or something? Skip ahead some amount of seconds. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of some other video platform, of which there are many.
He's calling it Dark Thresh. All right, we'll call it Dark Thresh since you're here.
Dark Thresh.
All right, so we've got Eldrazi Post
It is Dark Thresh.
versus Zach on Dark Thresh. Our backup match is going to be Calvin versus Noah.
Well, it's not there now, Matt. We're live.
Calvin's playing some Grixis control action. Probably very much the redo list.
And Calvin is playing against Noah on Miracles.
Noah on Miracles. These guys are going to do some shuffling.
Yeah.
It's how we start out our Tuesdays. Flair, how are you?
What do you think Terry's Pinecone control is?
Oh, I wondered where you got that name from.
Yeah, we're good. Do something that only a live person would do?
Hmm.
I was going to pick my nose, but that's pretty gross. And I really don't actually want to do that.
You have the announcement sheet up, right?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you, sir. Let's get some time for you guys here. Start time 7:04. Nope.
Bryce and I are the 2 oldest people in the store, I bet. That's got to be correct, right?
We don't have to admit to that.
So, if you thought there was a lot of bad jokes before, I'm ignoring timely response to chat as proof. Yep.
Oh, I gotta pick a quick date.
Look at Zach's hand here. I see Brainstorm, Underground Sea, Wasteland. Oops, I'm not supposed to be real loud. Spell Pierce. Garmac Angler, maybe?
Wait, Mystic Flare TCG is the same as Flare TCG on Discord? No.
No way.
I don't believe it. I'm glad you're joining us.
Lead off with a tapped. So James would lead off with a tapped Cloud Post. So if you're Zach, you have the line of just wasting this into the Stone Age.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, right?
He could also, I think he's going to hold up Spell Pierce, which is actually not the worst idea. There's a good chance The next play could be something like another tapped Cloud Post into Chalice of the Void.
James can't run out a 4-drop with just a Cloud Post, right? So even if he gets a Soul Land here, Max will have his 3.
And there's a Grimace. I would Spell Pierce that immediately and then Wasteland him on the next turn.
Deny some mana.
Yeah, good play.
$20 4-rounder, all entry into store credit as prizes.
Okay.
That sounds fun, Matt.
Zach's getting flooded here, but I think you are committed to this line.
Yeah, and
you can set him back by.
Nate is not playing tonight.
I am not playing tonight. No.
You get to experience Nate in the flesh, digital flesh.
See, you wasteland him here. It's a wasteland that's worth 3 mana.
Oh yeah,
that's why.
And then you have a Daze too, and a Stifle. It's gonna work.
I still think he has to do it. I know he's flooded. Yeah. This Eldrazi Post deck, you can mana deny it, which is weird because it's like 30 lands. But now Zach really needs a clock. He can next turn draw land, fetch up Tropical Island, and get a pretty nice looking Tarmogoyf down there with an artifact already in the graveyard.
All right, so he's got a Daze in hand. Is there anything you don't Daze? You're just
I kind of think you still Daze it. I think that you want to stop this mana development. If he untaps with 7, that Daze is doing nothing.
Right. Yep.
So, and he's going to untap with 7 plus whatever's in his hand.
But this is kind of a weird play, right?
Yeah, this kind of sucks. But see, that's why I just would have Snap Wastelanded and not Brainstormed last turn. Because he could have Brainstormed there and then Dazed and then just fetched. Maybe he would have found a Delver. Now he wouldn't. We know he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
So James has access to 4, 5, 6, and this looks like a double Matter Reshaper turn.
That's all right.
Yeah.
For turn 5. Turn 4.
Zach's best draw here would be something like, I see he's got Tarmogoyf. Ooh, a Karn. Ooh. Well, see, the Daze wasn't going to kill that if only he had the Spell Pierce, but there's not really anything you can do about that. What you can do is stifle the first Karn activation.
That's interesting. Deny him drawing a card. If he makes a dude, he's not going to make a dude, is he? Then it's a
-2 to
spell?
make a dude. I think you just plus.
Yeah.
He's a big one out. He wants to stifle it. I don't think you stifle this just because it doesn't really give him anything. Like you can wait for him to minus and then stifle whatever it takes. Yeah.
So I like. It probably doesn't matter.
Probably don't give him that Endbringer. Though we can just get him another Endbringer. So.
Yeah. They're both. I mean, he's gonna get the other one next turn if he wants it.
Yep. This is a tough spot for Zach.
Goyf isn't small. It's a instant land artifact right now. So yeah, it's small.
A creature will be in the graveyard eventually. It's a 3/4 Goyf, which will block a Matter Reshaper, put a Matter Reshaper in the graveyard, make it a 4/5. He could also just cast this Eldrazi Mimic.
He gets a drop.
Yep, he's kind of got to play Tarmogoyf now.
Karn Scion ?
You gotta, it's exclamation point card and then Karn Scion ?
Yeah, I can pull it up for you. There, you can read it in text form. It's prettier if I do it. It just takes a lot longer.
Now, is this one of those masterpiece planeswalkers? Do we know whether or not that's the case?
No, the new one is Vraska. They haven't said so, but Morrow said that the one that wasn't released is in the set.
And we've only seen that Ral Zarek.
They just haven't revealed it yet. So which is kind of silly, but whatever.
Saw an interesting discussion about whether or not Mana Drain should be unbanned. I think until Karn was printed, it would have been arguable. I think Drain into Karn would be pretty miserable. Did I say reprinted or unbanned? Mana Drain should be unbanned. Drain into Karn, yikes.
There's a few other things that opens up to too, which is problematic.
Yeah, they should unban Channel. Channel Karn, come on. So we've got a artifact land instant. So we got a 3/4 Tarmogoyf.
And James gets to untap with lots of mana.
Yeah, right? Who wouldn't, Matt? Well, I guess me. But, I mean, I would if I don't think I have the cards. And I think I would need certain cards that I can't get a hold of. But, like, for example, Grim Monolith, of which James apparently has many. All of which are in the graveyard. What's the activation on Iowagan is 7, right?
Yep.
So
7 plus tapping itself, right?
It's 7 tap, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't use, what's it called? Eldrazi Temple to activate it.
No, it's just 1.
Yeah. So he's still a couple of ways off from using that.
It's still too cheap at 7. It sounds expensive, and it's
Yeah,
not.
it sounds expensive.
Yep. But James has got some choices here, right? He's got, let's get rid of this so you can maybe see. He's got 2 Matter Reshapers that now cost all of nothing, and a Thought Knot Seer, which costs 2. He can unload almost.
He could play his
hand,
entire
right?
hand.
What's the 4th card? Is it a Mimic?
I think it's a Mimic. I think he's got Mimic, Double Matter Reshaper, and you saw Thought Knot Seer. And he can, I believe, cast all of them. 2, 4, 6, and it's 3, 6, 10. Yeah, I think he can cast all of it.
Gets the Endbringer back with the silver.
Oh, and that he actually just played the Endbringer, yeah. Which would literally end this game. Might want to just fire off that Thought Knot Seer first. No, he can just play 2 of those. Yep. Zach can stifle the Matter Reshaper trigger when he blocks, though, which would be pretty nice.
So I think you
you
wanted to stack this a little differently, right? Okay.
He doesn't actually need to tap all those for Thought Knot Seer.
Yeah. He's got 2 floating mana.
Oh, he's got the magical card of Gurmag Angler, which would be excellent on this board, except for the fact that it's about to get Thought Knot Seer into the Stone Age. Yep.
I was gonna say I thought he was gonna run out of Endbringer there, and that would just play into Daze the way he did it, but that works. That's safe.
He didn't. Just tell him to untap one of his Cloud Posts.
Hey, you can tap mana all you want.
That's right.
you can float mana and not use it.
And what's he gonna do? What instant is he gonna play?
Right. Zach knows he's got an Endbringer in hand.
Attack Karn, block. Yep, destroy, stifle that trigger. Would stifle that trigger, decay the other one. At least you're not in terrible shape.
Or do you run out of? Is that a second Goyf? What's the other green card in his hand?
Does he have another green card? He would have just drawn it.
Oblivion Sower goes to James's hand.
Oblivion Sower. Oh yeah, it's another Goyf.
Yeah.
Once you see that, you're just like, what's the point? Why do anything?
Why continue to play? He can stifle the Oblivion Sower trigger.
That's true.
It's not nothing.
Yeah, and then he just has a 5/8. What do we got here? Creature, artifact, land, instant. So it's a 4/5 Goyf. That's gonna eat it to that 5/8. Zach's counting.
Some counting.
Yep.
Needs a sorcery in the graveyard, make it a 5/6, and he still isn't gonna help him.
The only sorcery in Zach's deck is probably Ponder. So he's got Stifle, so it's unlikely that he has him to Torok. Yep. Yeah.
It's pretty rough when
his deck.
This
like,
Karn is giving the card advantage, right, to the colorless player. That's pretty busted.
Yeah, Karn's just basically be like a Phyrexian Arena. Mm-hmm. You know, there's not a ton. I mean, I guess if you have like Grim Monoliths and stuff out, you can make some pretty big dudes.
But
that's 6.
It's better than an arena.
All is dust. Yeah. I would pack it
in. That says go to game 2.
The Emergence of the Eldrazi isn't necessarily a bad thing, provided you've lived a full life without regrets.
All right, so
is that the Put up all his dust. Let's see how close I
Ooh.
got to the flavor text.
Okay.
I actually really like this flavor text. A fulfilling and complete life without regrets. So close. This is really good flavor text.
Zach was able to get rid of 2 Grim Monoliths and Wasteland a card, and it was rough.
Oh man, that even put an extra. If only those weren't colored permanents, those Tarmogoyfs, because that's a tribal sorcery. They would have gotten huge. You really want to Thoughtseize that thing. Could you imagine?
This is our backup match where we've got Noah on your left playing some miracles. Looks like he's got some red main deck. Maybe not.
How many cards have it activated? Sorry.
Calvin playing Grixis Control.
How many cards have an activated ability of exactly 7 tap? Well, I know there's some artifact.
False.
False. Of course he knows.
Come on, Crimson Viper. You got to know that one.
Oh, Geek P is Crimson Viper?
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it. Why do you...
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people just change their name for no reason, just to be confused.
Calvin is moving a bunch of lands around here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I can think of a couple that have an ability of 7 tap. There's like an artifact.
1-drop artifact. Is that the one you're thinking of that kills something?
Hello, Jorgensen.
Welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Didn't realize those was multiple wrong answers. I can't even think of the artifact I'm thinking of that has a 7 tap.
All right. How do we do this?
Okay, so we go to advanced. No, just go to Scryfall, which is where we were.
Oh, can we just do it in Scryfall?
Yeah. So I would go to advanced search, and then in text, I would do quote 7 tap. Yeah, you should have heard that. I also name dropped Matt. No, that's
not like that.
I think you should put in like quote. I open quotes. Sorry, we're trying to figure out how to use Scryfall. Oh, what's Noah predicting? No, I think I put quote 7, comma, space tap. Or you just want to whatever. I'll do it on my phone. So what do we got here? You know what? Actually, I'm gonna try and commentate this match. I see a Snapcaster Major.
Look what you did, Matt.
No guesses. No, we were trying to figure out the answer. It looks like there's a portent on the stack, and that is now resolving. And Noah's gonna pass. He's gonna get bolted upstairs, and then Calvin actually can make a good show of the win here. I don't know why we wouldn't snap bolt there. What just happened? I think he forgot to. Oh, he brainstormed with Jace. Okay, I was like, you got to cast one of those brainstorms, my pal.
All right, Calvin gets game 1.
Yep.
Just how I thought it was going to play out.
Bolt, snap, bolt.
All right, so back to our other match where we have James took game 1 of Eldrazi Post versus Zach playing. What is Dark Thresh?
This is going to be basically a bug version of the Stifle brand of a Delver deck. So he's got Stifle. He's got more tropical islands, most likely no Hymn to Torox here, probably no like Lilianas, especially maybe not main deck at least.
But no Nimblemongoose.
I actually didn't look that far. I think his creatures are Delver, Gurmag Angler, and Tarmogoyf. No, he's got Gurmag Angler. Surprise, I'm playing Goose. That's actually why. And you basically just jump ahead. Now, he's got Fatal Push, for example, instead of Lightning Bolt.
Right.
Let's put a space in there. Put a space between the comma and the T. There we go.
Oh. I found the answer. Which one were you thinking of? You were thinking of this Unstable Obelisk.
Yeah. But you know what's not on here? How is that possible?
Yeah. Why doesn't it have Ayabukin?
Ayabukin is not on this list of cards. The Everything-a-Majig is. Urza's Factory is. Actually, I think I was thinking of this Universal Solvent. But it's basically the same thing.
Why do we care what costs 7 tap? Why is this a thing, Matt?
He's just... I see... So hold on a second. There is 7. There are 7, I should say, unless we completely mess this up. But how come Ayabukin isn't on here? I can't figure it out.
Should be.
Should be.
Yep.
Did we have like only legal and modern up? I'm just kidding. Because it's that clearly. Yeah. Huh.
It's just, it failed. All right, Zach gets a Delver out quick.
This has the name includes T. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, weird. yeah, that doesn't count. We don't count those cards.
Also, that's 7 tap sacrifice Everything-a-Majig, this is actually the not the Everything-a-Majig that we're looking at, which makes me wonder if that's like the very cryptic command. Oh, what happened? Probably a Sorcerer's Spyglass on Wasteland.
And Zach had the option of dazing it or forcing it, and he's just gonna say, sure, go for it.
Ooh, a Winter Orb. That's really nice.
This is interesting.
This is actually pretty good. He's got Thoughtseize to take the next thing that James does, and then potentially force and daze. If he draws a blue card here, bless him.
Or
he draws a now here. Okay, he's gonna get to see what he draws with Delver. I mean, James probably names Wasteland. There's not really anything to name other than that.
If there had been a fetch land in hand, then that would have been fun. But
okay, so he is going to draw this land. I think that you still Thoughtseize. Oh, because you sacrifice these unstable obelisks. That's why he
this
doesn't.
card frame hanging out in James's face there. Sorry.
Ayabukin, Urza's Factory, Hell Vault, Altar of Shadows. And what's the other one? And Everything-a-Majig. Are you counting that?
Yeah, you said there's 5. I see 6.
He can actually heart. Oh, he's going to go for the Winter Orb. I actually would not play Winter Orb here because he's just going to get to untap his 1 land. And then he's going to play another land.
Right.
I would have Thoughtseized or held up just Hardcast Days if he really wanted to. But
yeah.
Oh, Lynn Sib? No, it's not. There's the thing that gets a Rebel. That's probably 7 tap, right?
The days will let you untap both lands, though. Oh, there's more.
Hermosian Sky Marshal.
You can't trust the internet. One of the Everything-a-Majigs is, but there's different ones. With
One of the other.
text.
Please try to keep up.
Come on, Jorgensen.
Well, we thoroughly botched this. So.
Oh, the Universal Solvent is.
Yeah. Okay. You just untap both of his lands. See, the reason.
Brian, you're alive.
You need to Thoughtseize. He's gonna untap with up to 5 if he plays a Glimmer Post.
Throw some cards down. We see Thought here, Ratchet Bomb, Batter Skull, and a
Waste.
Grand Dynamo.
This is an interesting idea. Interesting question. He could play Waste and then Thran Dynamo, untap the Ancient Tomb. Whew. I think I would take the extra mana.
Brian's on his way to Japan. Well, as long as you're watching Twitch, you're fine. Turn up the volume really loud.
This is a really bad situation for Zach. This Delver is going to eat it to this Ratchet Bomb. I think
he's got Daze, Force of Will in hand, right?
Yeah, that's enough to kill one thing. He's got to hope to draw a cantrip this turn. But you don't want to... You could say, like, he can definitely cast Thought on Seer next turn, so I'm taking that.
And then he's got...
Or then he just taps 2 lands, casts Thran Dynamo, untaps... Ratchet Bomb... He's really leaning hard on this Delver, which is unfortunate.
You kind of have to race, though, right? When you're...
Yeah, and he's missed 2... He's missed 2 Delver flips, which is really representing a significant, because with that Ancient Tomb out there and the Winter Orb. See, I've never been a fan. I don't understand. Winter Orb's an awesome card. Don't get me wrong. I love Winter Orb, but it never works. It never works like you think it's going to.
Except when it does.
I once brought it in against Agraloam, 4-color Loam, and I drew it. The guy had 3 Mox Diamonds. Okay.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Me.
Pretty good.
Brian, we have 15 players playing some Legacy tonight. And I got Nate in here hanging out with me to actually give you guys some real, commentary on
what has he got
stuff.
there? Is that a Null Rod? Maybe that's... So if you got a Null Rod, why did you take the Ratchet Bomb? Like, you're only going to lose the Delver, and then he can't use his Thran Dynamo. I guess maybe he's thinking he can turn off the Thran Dynamo. I don't think there's anything Zach can do except for attack here. I don't understand what we're waiting for. Oh. Didn't attack. And he didn't flip Delver once more. Now, this Wasteland is nice. I think I would hit the cloud. Well, the thing is, like, well, you can't Wasteland wastes. Jackson 15, we are in Utah, South Salt Lake City. And there's a Null Rod. Okay, this worked out pretty well, except for the fact that the Ratchet Bomb would have been turned off and he could have taken something. What I'm interested in is why James hasn't taken the Thought-Knot Seer or played it. Oh, because he knows about the Force. Okay. Now we can start beating out this Force of Will.
Yep. He knows about Force and Daze.
Now he's gonna go for the Thought-Knot Seer here. I think Zach has to force this because he's gonna lose his Edict. You gotta force it and hope to flip your Delver. Yep. Yeah. And then you got Edict for the Batterskull if he ever gets up to that. Trigger.
Jackson, we have Paul playing lands tonight, and he often does quite well with it.
Another whiff. That's 4 turns in a row.
That's amazing. When you bring in all these artifacts, and
this game would actually be close to over now if he.
All right.
And now he's gonna untap he can untap his Wasteland this turn, so he's gonna play the Batterskull. I think you. Jeez, you can't let the Delver flip go by without going for the Scry. That's not good. Now you could.
Yeah, Zach could have wastelanded there, right?
Oh man, he should just let that. He's gonna go trigger on the stack.
Okay, that was his
Diabolic Edict.
Yeah, leaving Edict open.
Well, he didn't know that he'd do the second Thought-Knot Seer. That's a. Paul is here. He is playing lands. Did they already talk about that?
Yeah. I like this.
It's terrible, but it's what you got to do.
Yeah. You get to replace it.
So now he's got to draw a card, and now it gets exiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be exiled for the original trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hoping to draw a land, ironically enough. Now, if he whiffs...
he just untapped everything. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, man!
The next card was a land.
Never gonna flip
This game
over.
would literally be over if he hadn't whiffed. Oh. Oh, he went to 11 because of the Ancient Tomb. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we missed the Delver flip. This is a pretty bad Delver run. I've been on some bad Delver runs. I'm sure you have too, Bryce. You know that feeling? How is this possible?
When you bring in Null Rod and Winter Orb,
yeah,
I guess
what I was gonna say.
What are you cutting? Are you cutting things that would have flipped Delver?
Like 100%. You're not cutting Gurmag Angler in this matchup. You're not cutting Tarmogoyf. So you've cut maybe, and he had a Fatal Push we just saw, but still had Thoughtseize, or maybe he brought in Thoughtseize. Maybe he probably got the Stifles.
Yep. Man.
But these are all lands. I think you got to play a land here.
I think I would have.
The Dynamo does nothing because of the
Null Rod.
Null Rod, yeah.
Shuts it down.
That Matter Reshaper. He could just go for Batterskull here.
I think I would have untapped a Wasteland there.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, you can't do
Instead of his land, he had a land in hand, so he could have wasted the Temple or something like that.
That's why you cut Delver and board TNN. Yeah, or don't play Delver. But no, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean anything unless you like knew what deck I was considering playing tonight if I was going to play. I came to that same conclusion. Like I shouldn't play this. I'm never going to flip this thing. All right, now what is it? It's a Daze.
James flips it for
Did he forget to untap a land?
Yeah. You kind of have to, right? You can't not tap a land.
Oh yeah.
There
no.
It goes.
Wait. I'm not sure what happened here. Also, I would waste if you just drew a Daze. I would wasteland something immediately.
I'm confused.
I don't know what happened.
Instead of untapping one, he untaps both. Guess it's not gonna matter.
There's a Sorcerer's Spyglass on Wasteland.
Oh,
that's why. I totally forgot that was there.
Untapping Wasteland.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, instead of running out there and correcting him, we'll just let it go.
I still don't know why he untapped two lands. I can't quite figure that out. Yeah. But down to 5. This is going to be a Batterskull. Or something even more horrifying. I don't just Batterskull. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's got it. Okay, yeah. Can't Daze it. Could Daze it to tap him out, and then he can only untap one land next turn.
So if you're James right there, you might as well tap your Waste instead of one of the Temples, just in case you draw Thought Nuts your next turn or something, right? Is there a reason to leave Waste up?
No, he just thought he was going to attack some.
But the Temple would tap Sparkleos too.
There's a Ponder. He can look for something.
Okay, so Zach would have been able to untap his other land there, and we'd be back.
What's that card up there? Is that that's not a Flusterstorm. Unless he was really scared of all his dust, which, you know. That looks like a Tarmogoyf. How big is that Tarmogoyf creature? Instant land.
Artifact.
Artifact? Is there an artifact?
Yeah, there's a Ratchet Bomb.
Ratchet Bomb? That's a pretty big boy, so he could block that. He could definitely absorb that, and then you can shuffle away the this Drek underneath. And now you've got Tarmogoyf with Daze back up.
And a sorcery. Yeah, so it's big.
Creature, instant, land, sorcery, artifacts, 5/6. This could be enough. Blocks the Batterskull. He's got to attack with the Batterskull.
Yep.
Next turn. The Winter Orb's gonna work out in sort of a bizarre way.
Matt, should you take Food Griffin to an unknown meta with no practice? I think you could, actually. It's not that difficult of a deck to play. As long as you understand the combo and how it works and what you want to, when you want to sequence, it's not extremely difficult. And it plays like a pretty decent mid-range deck most of the time.
Well, 100% has to attack here if he's really at 2. That Daze, and that's going to
All right.
Okay.
There you go to game 3.
I guess he's going to say, like, I'm not casting anything. Okay.
So when you get your 2 sideboard cards, Winter Orb and
No Rod.
No Rod.
It doesn't matter that you don't.
Yeah. Delver takes 9 turns to flip. You're fine. Oh, Brian completely disagrees with me. He says no. That's great. All right. Here's our backup match. We've got Calvin on the right, Noah on the left.
We see Liliana that's
about to emblem.
That's about to make some zombies. Right under that counterbalance. Now, how could Noah potentially be an emblem? We also have no idea whose turn it is.
Well,
it looks like he was resolving that ponder.
We saw Miracles beat an emblem in the GP, right? So if you get out a mentor that lives and you're able to make a bajillion monks, you win.
Let's see. Calvin's gonna ultimate this Liliana, make 2, unless there's a Gurmag Angler in his hand.
Jan Ichiban, welcome in. Hello.
You gotta move that ponder to the graveyard.
It's just gonna hang out right there. It's gonna keep thinking about it.
Gotta move that ponder to the graveyard.
We're doing good. We gotta watch some Legacy. What you do on a Tuesday night? Yeah. What could be better than this?
Some interesting counterplay in that other match, which is interesting. You wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
So he knows that there is a. Geez, you could just bolt upstairs here. I guess Noah has a fetch land.
Yeah, watching Paper Legacy while driving home is a little difficult. I wouldn't say I recommend it, but I wouldn't advocate against it.
Oh, he brainstormed in response to the ponder?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why the ponder's still sitting there.
Okay. Jeez. We have no idea how to turn this.
So this is Noah's main phase.
The back to basics is going to tap down a land. Wouldn't really.
It's not going to do much. All right, do we get to see some zombies? Oh, not yet. Oh, Calvin just revealed top card to Noah, but it gets shuffled away anyway. Brian's advocating for omniscience.
Yeah, I mean, you just
Mono
show and tell
blue.
omniscience.
Just show, not sneak and show, just show. I think Noah's in trouble. He has no cards in hand. Calvin's got a multiplication of zombies here. And we're going to jump back over to our other match and see how this plays out. I'm pretty sure Calvin's going to get this. Miracles can do something, but it has to chain together.
You have to chain together multiple
a lot
spells.
Of cards. I think he needs more cards in hands in order to get there. And the back to basics is actually going to hurt him.
This
a
is.
bit. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is dead next turn.
Here's our other match. Zach starts out with a Delver again. This time he's on the draw.
Looks like we've had a lot of Cloud Post Delver and Vesuva copying Cloud Post, and here comes a Chalice, a Ratchet Bomb. Ooh, yep.
Ratchet Bomb gets
Yep-a-rooney.
All right. Does Delver take 5 turns to flip?
It's getting there.
There's one.
There's a Gurmag Angler, though. That's not the worst.
Yeah, it looks like Zach's got lots of dazes in hand.
But
haha, take one.
So any land here beats Daze.
Right.
With a Thought Not Seer, I should say.
He's got exactly a 5-drop. Or a 6-drop with his temple.
Which probably means that he's not going to get that Gurmag Angler into play. Now he could go for this Reality Smasher.
You've played 3 leagues with Omniscience. And
I'm completely off foil. I've always been off foil. He's going to copy there. Now he's going to make 6. That's 3 for a Matter Reshaper. Yep.
Can't really daze this one twice.
He can decay it at least. Trigger.
He can fly over it, maybe. Hey! What is that? That's a flipped Delver. Wow.
Well, I think you got to hold this. I would play my fetch land and plan to brainstorm at the end of his turn to get rid of these dazes that are going to do nothing against the 9 mana.
If he's able to daze something twice, do you do it here? Do you sacrifice?
He's not going to be able to. James has made another land drop. He now has access to 11. We're talking he could play Ulamog 3 days. Yeah. And instead it's going to be... Is that a walking ballista? Because that is going to hurt. Yep. Yikes.
This one he can daze.
There's one floating because he didn't tap his Eldrazi Temple. Right. So he can't even double daze it. And I think James is just playing around double daze here because... No.
The Temple only taps for 1.
Right, but it's 3, 6, 9, so he only put 8 into the...
so he's still got one floating.
So he's got a 4/4 walking ballista that is going to really make Zach's life miserable. Yeah. There's like nothing you can do.
He can brainstorm and try and find a force.
Yeah, he could do that. I would. This is why, I would brainstorm here. This thing hits the table.
Nope.
See some wastelands. That's not.
So he can decay it, and
Paul is in fact a hero.
Grimmack Angler. Paul, thanks for the subscription, sir. That's awesome.
What do we get? All right, Brian. Have a safe flight.
Other things done. You're on a plane. I'm going to sit in this chair and do other things. I like it.
I'm impressed he was able to stay connected for that long as a frequent traveler myself, attempting to watch the stream. Sleep is a thing. Oh yeah, what time is it where he is?
Depends on what part of the Pacific he's in, I guess.
It's a big world, you know. Like it's a lot of time zones.
All right, Ballista resolves, kills Delver.
He's got to decay this thing now.
Yeah,
before he can grow it.
It'll just end the game by itself. All right, players are tied at 16 each.
All right, so here's an opinion on Bug Thresh.
Okay.
When you play Abrupt Decay, you have to have black and green. Right. But if you're playing Stifle, you're probably not going to play Him to Torque. That's the slot, right? So now, because he has to have Tropical on his deck as opposed to Bayou, he was not able to set up a situation where he could cast Gurmag Angler and Abrupt Decay in the same turn. Off this Wasteland in his... Yeah.
You gotta just burn your turn playing...
You can't let this Walking Ballista untap. Yeah. Because he's going to put... He can put 2 counters on it. You put 2 counters on it. It's attacks for 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you're super freaking dead. So I think you got a Wasteland. Winter Orb would be really nice here. Actually. Winter Orb
would be really nice.
If he had drawn a Winter Orb, that would have been nice. He could have.
He'd still get to put lots of counters on Ballista, though.
No, because he would only untap 1 land. He would Wasteland him and put a Winter Orb down. He would untap, put 1 counter on, attack for 6. You go to 10. You untap, you decay it. You go to 7. You go to 4. Yeah, you're pretty dead. Oh yeah, you're right, Paul. I was thinking he had the untapped mana last turn. But either way, it's awkward to have Abrupt Decay in your deck. You got when all of your lands tap for blue and you don't even have the option. But it's also awkward to have Bayou in your deck. You can't let him untap with the Walking Ballista. Okay.
Sinkhole, Stifle, Shadow of a Doubt. You don't want it sounds like a deck, Matt. I think you should do that.
You can run Sinkhole, Stifle, and Shadow of Doubt, but the deck probably won't be good. You can't Sinkhole and Stifle like the card Death Shadow. Like, nice, thank you.
Well, it's gonna.
Here's my 9/9.
Just a nice combination of.
Yep, Rooney, and that's gonna. There's other days. So now you've got no permanence.
Perfect. Right where he wants to be.
He's got it right where he wants. Now he can cast his Gurmag Angler, though. There's another Delver. I wouldn't count him out yet.
Yeah.
No.
This one.
Yeah.
This 1-mana creature instead of the other 1-mana creature. Looks like it's going to eat in all his dust.
What if it plays 2 Tabernacle? that would be a really greedy mana base. I kind of want to buy a Tabernacle now. Saw someone playing Pox.
With it?
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Oh.
Yikes.
Just
I didn't say I was going to do it. That's a little too steep for me, just like Jorgensen said about paying money. Now, James is out of gas here a little bit. I think that his hand is land. Oh, no, it's clearly not land Chalice, unless he's putting Chalice on some sort of crazy number. Oh, that is brutal. He drew the
7-mana destroy an Gurmag Angler.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, Gurmag Angler is an abomination against the game, so it's kind of hard for me to be too mad. You got to ponder and look for the Gurmag Angler. I would Tropical Island ponder. Yep.
Gotta go in 2 lands. That just gets shuffled away, right?
He's gonna play his Delver. He's got a Delver he can play. Kind of want this Tarmogoyf, don't you? He can't flip the Delver, so yeah, he's gonna have to shuffle it.
Yep.
He could have played Delver as a chump blocker, drawn the Goyf, drawn a land, left the Goyf on top, played Delver, chump block, untap, draw a Goyf, fetch the other land away.
He's got a Toxic Deluge in his hand, is that right? That's gonna... It might work.
Delver.
Might work.
Yeah, I wonder if Delver might be on chump block, dude.
Yep.
Is that a Toxic Deluge? I can't tell.
If he's got a Toxic Deluge, then
yeah, that's what a Toxic Deluge is. Yeah.
Nope, he just takes it. Goes to 5.
But if your plan is to play this Toxic Deluge ever, then...
Chalice on 2.
2, huh? He's got a Grim Mouth in his hand. He just thoughts used him. Oh. Nope.
All right, Delver flips. So Delver does not
flip to a null rod.
No, does not.
So he just drew a brick. Are we on double chump block? Hope to draw a Goyf here. Go to top deck mode. He can spell pierce.
Attack for 1.
Is that enough to run nodes over drop? Also, why you run portal if there's no white card? Just because you can play through a Blood Moon. You don't have to fetch your forest.
And your other lands tap for mana too, right?
Yeah.
Like your Tabernacle taps.
It's gonna go down 2. James gonna have Eldrazi Bolt, like a meteorite. Wouldn't that be sick if he just like went down to 2 and James just taps all his lands, plays a meteorite, target you. Triggers.
Delvers still don't flip. Wow.
Toxic Deluge is off the table. Is that another All Is Dust?
When Delver dies,
He would have just cast it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This Ratchet Bomb's not going to... Spyglass doesn't resolve through a Chalice either.
Chalice the
You want to tell him that he can't do that? Before Zach reveals his hand here. Yeah, Zach already had fetched, but he hadn't revealed his hand.
Okay.
Cheat count is 1, James says. Not too often that you put Chalice in 2, probably, but there's enough things in James's deck that you probably even more likely or less.
Well, he doesn't need any of his mana artifacts here.
Yeah. Goodness.
That's game.
Still doesn't flip over. If he draws exactly a Gurmag Angler next turn.
I guess we're Tarmogoyf.
And James just keeps drawing dead.
Oh, that's not
Worm Coil Engine? Probably not dead.
Yeah. I can't spell pierce that guy.
Yep. There's another land for Zach. He just could not get the cards. James gets that one.
I think if he's got stuff, he's still got 18 lands, but he drew a lot of land.
Our backup match is
they
also
were done.
Also finished.
I'm gonna guess that those zombies went to town on Noah pretty fast, because they haven't changed their life total from when we last looked over.
And Calvin won 2-0. Probably. I'm not sure.
How does the legacy run through work? What do you think he means by that?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
What is a legacy run through? And how does it work? There's an event here. Is that what you're referring to? But it's not called a run through, is it? It's called...
For the $10 deck submission.
You got me. What is a legacy run through?
Wait, is this a joke? Is there a punchline? It'd be funny if there's like a punchline. It was like you just couldn't get it. It was like the funniest joke ever.
Let's see what this thing is called.
It's in your panels. We have panels? Hey, this is my first day.
What is this thing called that I'm thinking of? No, that's not it. It's in our panels, huh? I see it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's in our panels. What panels? Like, is it like in the ceiling? That's a good one, right, guys? That was Bryce level right there.
Yeah. You got me confused.
Just a couple of dads hanging out making totally funny jokes. What is this?
Matt sending things to us in Discord.
It's in our Twitch panels below stream.
Oh my goodness. What is this thing?
Oh.
What are we talking about?
He just put a pic in the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at this. This is great. This is great TV, by the way.
Yeah, this is super entertaining right here. Oh, for a stip. So we're going to be playing some Legacy on Magic Online.
That's right. Okay.
And we're going to have a bunch of different people streaming Magic Online, right? So if there's a particular deck you really want to see, then you can contact us and do like a $10 donation, and we'll, as long as it's not ridiculous for us to get those cards.
Yeah.
We have most of the cards on Magic Online. We'll put together that deck and play a league with it and walk through.
Well, they'll probably make me
and
do
stuff
it.
like that. It'll be Kyer or Brian.
They like to
or
win.
Nate.
I don't really care.
And we'll put probably the best person who thinks they can do well with it running it.
Yeah, give me a deck to play. Give me a deck with Cloud Post and Walking Ballista. That was pretty fun. And how much did they got? Tabernacles like 30 cents online. We probably have those.
You did? You sent it through Whispers?
Oh, we have 3 Whispers.
There they are. You came up with a new name for the deck.
That's from Friday.
Yeah, so this was sent Friday. And we got a link to...
I mean, I'll I'll tell you what, give me $10, I'll play anything on stream here. I'll even do it for free.
Oh, you typed it all out.
Is fog allowed in Legacy?
Yeah.
But it has to be.
Absolutely. This deck has done you very well in the past. All right. So we're not all up to speed on streaming Magic Online. Nate's actually you've done one stream, right?
I did do one stream. I was supposed to be on Sundays, but the Sunday was my anniversary, so I didn't do it. But I did the previous Sunday, and I got ranched with Shadow,
which happens sometimes. Clearly, we need to do Battle of the Depths deck.
Paragon Turtles, that's us.
That has a lot of cards in it. There's like 240 something cards.
Oh, the Battle of Wits deck. Yeah. Did you guys do that?
No.
We could do
that was Caleb played that one.
Probably should have told Zach and Phil that I was doing this. listen to Eternal Dirtles Mondays on Hipsters of the Coast.
There you go.
We had a guy on talking about elves this week, and it was pretty good. I mean, it was before the Grand Prix, so we didn't really like know that elves. I think the elves top 8 of the Grand Prix. So,
yeah. Where'd that go?
So we ended up being somewhat. No, not top 8. Maybe top 16 is where I saw it.
So, Jen Ichiban, I'll talk with these guys, and we'll figure out
the plug
when this stream will happen, or when this stipulation deck will happen, and if we can do it. It looks like we should be able to put the deck together. I'm super curious about it because what is going on?
Could you imagine Fog and Legacy? Like, it's gotta be hilarious. It's probably not bad.
It could be great. And then we'll try and let you know.
Oh wait, do you want us to play this in Legacy? I just saw that you're looking at Magic Duels, so we could play this. We could do a standard stipulation too.
Yeah. If that's, it's quite a bit different than. Yeah, this is just a. No, is it standard? Is it standard?
Yeah, Juggernaut's in standard. It's in Dominaria.
Man, I'm out of.
Could you imagine?
So I don't know what's going on.
It's like
this looks.
Any D&T or Leovold in the room tonight.
Like it would be modern legal right now.
There's a wait.
I have deck lists. I know these things. We do not have death and taxes.
It is possible that someone's playing Leovold. No. Oh wait, Tim maybe could be playing Leovold.
I'm not sure if we have any Leovold in the room either. Probably not. Yeah. Tim is playing a Nickfit deck. He's playing a Sultan Nickfit deck, but I don't think it has Leovold in it.
Zach could have had Leovold. He didn't. I mean, he had the ability to cast it with his lands. But
yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's kind of hard to read through that deck list because it's in text format, so it's hard for me to get a good idea. But I'm pretty sure this wouldn't, as it's done, be a Legacy deck.
But put together a Legacy Turbo Fog deck. There's all sorts of fog effects in Legacy. Get those Spore Frogs. They're probably like $30 online because of Pauper, right?
Yeah, that's a good question, Jackson. Is there any Leovold in the format? Every now and then I see it pop up.
It's interesting how that went away, huh?
Yep.
Battle of Woods deck. There are 3 Leovolds. Can't play that 4th Leovold. What if you draw 2 of them? Your 250 card deck.
That's great.
You haven't listened? That's okay. I mean, I shouldn't say that. But thank you for listening in the past. But it's okay if you miss 1 week here and there.
You guys have it every single week?
Personally. Yes, every single week. What am I going to talk about this week? Oh, I guess the Grand Prix. Oh, Phil went to the Grand Prix.
Okay. Some actual first-hand knowledge.
Yeah, he played 4 rounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's almost as much as I played at GP Seattle.
Yeah. Maybe he might have played more than 4 rounds. He might have played some side events too.
Yeah.
I'm super impressed to compete with Delver. So once that went away, Leo did, unfortunately. Really, I mean, it's just that's how Leaving Legacy has a fan base they do. Thanks, Matt.
It's mostly that Grixis is just a superior deck,
yes.
Right? Superior colors.
Right. It's hard not to play red.
Yeah. Yep. So if Leovold was red instead of green, it probably would see play at the very least in a sideboard. But
or if there was a green elemental blast that had this exact same text.
Right. Yeah. Hydroblast and REB are just too good in Legacy.
Leo is toxic because when it's good, it is a pain in the butt. How do you find cards in Magic Online? I only see M18 and above. Hey, I give you a shout out. I remember to do the shout outs this time because I knew both of you guys. That's why.
When it's not right,
I'm trying to help him with his answer on how to see yeah, the Black Blast is black, which is just work. Life Force doesn't counter Jace the Mind Sculptor or kill Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Or Delver, or all the other blue cards.
Oh yeah, you have to buy from like I know you're kidding, Matt. Yes, you have to buy individual cards that are not in packs from your Magic the Gathering online dealers.
From the bots in the trade room.
From the bots in the trade room.
And how do you see them? You go into your collection and you can type
If you go to your collection and go to quantity 0, you can type any deck, any card you want.
Yeah, you can see everything. Somebody just followed us.
Uh-oh.
I missed it. Thanks for the follow, somebody.
Exploration kills all the blue mages. It's not wrong. I think that's Calvin sitting down again.
We've got round 2 pairings, so you guys don't have to hang out with us anymore.
Oh.
And half of my face here. I've been sitting like getting cut off.
It's actually kind of... Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
I'll turn this around. So we've got a Grixis Control mirror on table 1 of Calvin versus Corey.
Sure,
on table 2, we have Josh on Miracles versus Christian on Dead Guy Ale.
That'll be interesting.
That should be just interesting for a while.
For a little while, yeah. Jackson, thank you for the follow. I'm gonna get pairings up here or names up here, and then we'll show you guys some magic. This is Josh.
I'm interested in seeing Christian's deck. I'm a big fan of Dead Guy Ale.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Grixis mirror, I'm pretty sure. Unless Christian has, like, Thoughtseize and Bitter Blossom. Which he could. That's the thing. You can have anything. You can have anything. I've never beaten Josh unless I've gone Thoughtseize and Bitter Blossom. That's actually true.
That exact thing.
Like, I've done Thoughtseize and Bitter Blossom because...
All right, I don't actually have a start time, so I'm going to guess.
Now? What time is it? 8:06.
It's going to be about that.
Yeah.
So Dead Guy Ale is an interesting deck. It's white-black, usually, right?
Yeah.
And you're really wanting to go turn 1, Thoughtseize, turn 2, Hymn to Tarok.
Here's what you want to do. You Thoughtseize their removal.
Yeah.
You play Thoughtseize, you take their removal. If that's their only removal card, you play Dark Confidant, and then you win.
Right.
If don't, you play Thoughtseize their other removal card,
and then you play.
The next turn, you play Dark Confidant, and you win.
It really wants to curve out. It really wants to play a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and then
Wasteland.
Yeah.
And then hope to not draw terrible cards. This deck has taken so many hits. Just Sense's Divining Top was really good for this deck. You know, you really just throw them top there. You're going to see it right here in the position of Kozilek. The target here is any. I mean, I don't want to get off on a rant yet. Maybe Christian will win the game.
He does.
Christian, I believe, if it's the guy I'm thinking of, I think he went to the University of Rochester. So shout out to Rochester.
It's Pox with
a blade package. Kaya is dope in sideboards of this deck. Yeah. You put that one Kaya in, and maybe you draw it in your sideboard games.
And maybe it's relevant in that one game. Dark Confidant can win you the game.
Yep.
It can work. And I mean, back when I was playing it was Liliana the Veil, right, as your 3-drop. I think that's probably still correct.
I mean, there's also like a couple other things there's ways you can build the deck. You go turn 1, this kind of discard spell. Turn 2, you could play Tidehall Sculler or Dead Guy Ale. Dead Guy Ale is a white-black mid-range deck. Guy is a glorified Darksteel Relic. Yeah, well, I took the Brainstorm. You know, he's probably got a blue card on top, and I saw a counterbalance in Josh's hand, and that could be a real tough card for Christian to beat.
Dig Doug, welcome. So it's just ale. Yeah. The name is back when Legacy decks were interestingly named. It was a rogue deck, and at the time,
Chris Pikula.
Yeah, he played it. There was a brewery.
A shambling vent.
That is called Dead Guy. And
I am way into this. Look at this. And I'm surprised Ash didn't float a 1 there.
So it has a story attached to it. That's where the name comes from.
He's going to plow this mom. Or is he? He can wait. He can't activate this this shambling event for a while. Yeah, I plow that. Go up to 20.
Okay. So he took the brainstorm with the Inquisition. And
Josh drew Counterbalance and Snapcaster Mage.
yeah, just good cards. All right. Christian gets a third land. Does he get to go?
Man, Hackbert. Yeah, he's gonna plow his mom. That's how it works. You know, it would be. Oh, I need to go back to basics here, which is also be so
Wait,
useful.
Matt, did you name all of those decks?
Martian Law. Which one's that one? Is that also a? Is that a? Is that
I'm pretty sure those are all his own names.
Applejacks is a good name though. I actually like that name. Too bad the deck is not good. I don't know how people will fight with it. There's gonna be Lingering Souls.
Okay.
He's gonna trigger that.
This is Christian, who usually plays Burn.
Oh, maybe it's not the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah. They were Team Dead Guy. There's a brewery that makes a rogue brewery, right?
Rogue
that
brewery,
makes
yep. Dead Guy Ale.
Dead Guy Ale, and he was the rogue deck in his team. He was the only one playing this white-black variant. Chris was, and so he named it Dead Guy Ale.
And he got to second place of the first ever Legacy Grand Prix. If you're Christian, I think I'm just attacking for 2 here for a number of turns. You don't need to play in Terminus. He could very easily have left a 3 up on top. Maybe you want to test that Counterbalance. A Stoneforge Mystic. Now, if this doesn't get Counterbalance...
So Josh has too many choices here, right? Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
He just blinds. He could have Snapcaster Brainstorm. He could have forced it. He could have... It just has a Counterbalance on top.
Now he's going to go for the flashback. Well, he knows there's no Terminus coming, I guess. That's going to need a Spell Pierce. Okay.
He says no. Josh draws the Counterbalance and just passes the turn back.
Christian might... He's not really going to get a chance to resolve another spell this game. Because Josh has Counterbalance.
Nah, take that, Tundra.
Oh, that's not the worst. Keeps him off Jace.
Matt said there was no Wastelands, but he was wrong.
Did he say there's no Wastelands, or that they're not as mana not heavy? Because the original Pakula deck played 4 Sinkholes.
Very different deck. It's changed.
It also played 2 main deck Engineered Plagues. This is going to be interesting. The Tundra there. Snap. He got us to force it because he can't Snap Pierce it. And so he's got to decide whether or not this Jite is threatening enough.
Pretty sure you force a will this. Pitch your Counterbalance.
Yep.
It's not doing much. I'm a little surprised he didn't Snapcaster Brainstorm there before the Counterbalance trigger, or in response to.
Martian Law is the black, red, white Tin Fins variant utilizing Burning Wish. Yeah, you could play Vindicate back when Deathrite Shaman existed. That would have been a thing you could do.
All right, so is this in response to this Mother of Runes? Ooh, there's a Ponder and 2 lands.
Christian knows. Good thing we have Counterbalance. Just such an interesting card that creates such fun board states.
Sure does.
Yeah, take 2.
Josh is going aggro, coming in with the 2/1. Plays his Ponder to get rid of that land that was on top. 2 lands on top. Shuffles them away.
You still run Chrome Mox and Dead Guy. I actually, you could make an argument to run Chrome Mox and not Wasteland. You just cut your Wastelands. The thing is, I like playing 2 Wastelands in any deck now just because of the card like Maze of Ith.
Because lands is a part of our metagame here.
Lands is a part of our metagame. It's part of the metagame.
Some metagames aren't going to see it though.
Yeah.
This
was a little risky to play into a potential like cantrip Terminus there, but I guess he knew that Josh shuffled.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could even just play a turn 1. You play a turn 1 Dark Combat. Ooh, accumulated knowledge.
He's gonna draw a card.
For mostly to, yes, exactly, to hit trouble. That's how I play him in Death Shadow. In fact, we want to play Death Shadow in a black-white deck. You can play Street Wraith. I mean, you need to draw. Wasteland and Ant would get me every time. Could you imagine? I'm gonna put Wasteland in my Storm deck.
Hey, it's a Stoneforge Mystic that actually resolved.
And he knows his top card. What was that card?
It's a cantrip.
A cantrip. See, yeah, I wouldn't have gone to battle. I would have gone for the. We might not have a sword, but Sword of Fire and Ice here would be brutal. I guess he's thinking I get a free Batterskull. The problem is Terminus just wastes every Stoneforge deck. Just, he puts so much stuff on the board. He's not dead to it though, because he's got that Shambling Vent, which I really like. You can't go Panza in the format because there's too many efficient cards. You can't just like trade one for one on. You can't just trade one for one on lands anymore.
So he's got an accumulated knowledge, a counterspell, and a land, and I think those get shuffled away, right? The AK will draw 2 cards, but it's not.
If that's a fetch land, he could draw the AK, draw the fetch land, fetch the other card, fetch the counterspell, and then draw 2 fresh ones.
Yeah, that's better than shuffling and drawing a card here, right?
I wish you could, Matt. I mean, I really wanted to play all I ever really wanted to do, Bryce, was get a Thalia Heretic, a Thar in play, and then sinkhole some tapped fetch lands. Like, wouldn't that be so sick?
That would be pretty good.
Soon we'll have AK Mirror. Who do you think? Okay, do you want to play set of accumulated knowledges, Bryce?
No.
I do.
No.
I do.
I
So who do you think? Who do you think has a place of accumulated
knowledges?
knowledges?
No, that was reprinted, wasn't it? It wasn't. It's not just Nemesis anymore.
Yeah, but it was a common in Nemesis. We can find it.
I don't think I have any.
Who do you think owns a play set of accumulated knowledges here in this store? 2 C's.
It was reprinted in Masters 25. Yes, I have a playset of them.
Oh yeah, because you bought like a box of that.
Probably. It's a common. Goodness. That would be kind of fun, just to start throwing in accumulated knowledges into like some random.
Should we all come and play like accumulated knowledge miracles just to see if we get them? See if we get the mirror match. I definitely shut up with deck just because I feel like I'm gonna get paired against Josh. Like, I think I'm gonna get paired against Josh. Where's my Bitter Blossom?
Main deck Bitter Blossom.
Where's my Bitter Blossom?
All right, so this AK draws.
I think he did
2.
the line I was talking about. Yeah, he drew the.
Yeah, it took him another turn to do it. He had to draw the fetch line later.
Let's see.
Is that a verdict?
Could you imagine a Supreme Verdict?
Preordain.
I see a Terminus and a Council's Judgment.
You play Rest in Peace in the accumulated knowledge. What?
First person to play AK loses. Oh, no. We'll put AK and Leovold in our deck. So
there you go. There you go.
Oh, no. Okay, so here's your deck. You get your 4 accumulated knowledges. You get your Leovolds. You get your intuitions.
Right.
Snapcaster Mage, Unearth. So now you have you can intuition for Snapcaster Mage, Unearth, Leovold, which that guarantees you a Leovold.
Right.
Yeah. Or you can intuition, and if you've already done that, the second intuition gets 3 AKs. We did it. I wish there was like a card that like made mana, like in those colors.
All right, Supreme Verdict. Josh has to play it out, even though there's a Shambling Vent.
I'm just attacking with a Shambling Vent, putting them to 2.
So Scepter says, "Count me in. Let's build this deck."
Just put Veteran Explorer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the next card is Jace. Oh, I wish he attacked.
So he didn't attack.
Does he have land? Even the land? Please tell me you have a land. Gotta have a land.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a land. Phew.
So he's gonna fetch.
You have 2 fetchable lands.
He's got to. Fairy Spirit Guide.
This Jace. This is really interesting for Josh now. Wait, you intuition.
We said the magic card
because you can intuition for Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, Veteran Explorer and Unearth.
Yeah, right.
Does
exactly.
That work? I think that works.
I
mean, you've already got.
They put the Unearth in the graveyard, and they give you the therapy. No, they give you the therapy.
Oh,
yeah,
it doesn't work. Boo.
Here's a Jace. And now here's what happens. Would you like to know what happens now?
I want to know what happens.
Josh brainstorms into Cantrip Terminus. Instant speed Cantrip Terminus.
Okay.
Christian animates the Shambling Vent.
That's not what happened.
Oh, wait. I thought he had the Terminus in his hand.
No, he discarded to the Hymn to Torrent.
Look at that. The Hymn to Torok.
All right. Preordain scries to the bottom. He's got one card. We don't know what it is. He looked
If
at
it's
it
a
quick.
Source of Plowshares, I'm going to just... I'm going to claw my eyes.
Does Christian have a Thoughtseize?
He's got a
Fly first?
Thoughtseize.
Huh.
He doesn't have a Thoughtseize.
Oh, it's a Snapcaster Mage. It's as good as a Swords to Plowshares. In fact, it's better.
Main deck Coffin Purge.
Christian's got his own swords, but... Oh. Josh... Oh, he doesn't have an untapped mana. Oh.
Oh, he did? I thought he had 3 lands. Oh, no, because it was Jace and then Preordain.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. So Christian correctly doesn't swords there. He just lets the Snapcaster die. Josh gets another look at several cards. Finds another Snapcaster.
Another accumulated knowledge.
That's a lot of cards he gets to look at.
So he got a Swords of Plowshares.
So he's going to put 2 of these cards back and then draws both of them and one more.
No, I think he's just keeping his Force of Will and Snapcaster Mage. So if Christian casts Thoughtseize here, nope. You went under 3. That's what I said, didn't I? Oh, Eternal Witness. Okay.
This is what this card does.
Why would I play Eternal Witness?
In a little while.
Well, FedEx is just a way to ramp. That's the only reason you do it. Actually, accumulated knowledge. The thing is, like, you don't need it. You just play like a zillion brainstorms. Like, why do you need accumulated knowledge?
In Miracles?
In any deck.
Oh, yeah. It just gets you more.
It gets you more cards, but you don't need more cards. Because every card's a haymaker. Christian's at 23. Zach. I keep saying Zach. Josh is going to win with a Snapcaster or that.
Or any of these cards, yeah. Dead Guy doesn't have a way to deal 2 damage. I don't believe.
Nope. It lets you play the 4th AK a 5th time.
So
Wait.
does Snapcaster Mage?
Bring it back. Blink the Eternal Witness. Get it back another time. Just keep drawing 4. Get like that Conjurer's Closet. You want it because Miracles runs it, so you can draw more than Miracles player. Collective Brutality would be good.
Ooh.
Oh, and he flipped the Force. Christian, go to game 2.
Yep.
Go to game 2, man. You're not winning. This is the Miracles trap. You're at 23. They're at 2. You're never winning.
He's got a Force of Will in hand. It's not. Okay. If he plays another Shambling Vent,
If he plays another Shambling Vent.
maybe.
Eternal Command. I want to play Eternal Command. I finally own the card Ether Vial. Dun, 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 dun. I love the Teferi cards. All like there's like 20 years between like new Teferi cards.
I think he got younger. No, he got older. He got gray hair.
Well, I don't think he got younger. I mean, I don't think one gets younger.
Maybe Teferi might.
It's not Benjamin Button. They haven't done a Benjamin Button.
He was stuck in a phased place, getting younger. We're gonna watch these guys draw this out for a while Josh hangs out at 2 life.
Inquisition. Josh's gonna show him his hand. No. Back to basics means that even another Shambling Vent does not win.
Nope. Hardcast Force of Will. Oh, I've got a sword. It gets countered to that back to basics. When does Teferi takes a while? Jace is going to take a little while. What? 4 more turns? 3 more turns?
Jace. Is Jace at 6? How did Jace get to 6? Shouldn't he be at an odd number? I don't think he attacked him. Good return. Thank you for the follow.
Well done, sir. Way to go. Anybody else who wants to give us a follow, we're streaming Paper Magic just like this every Tuesday and almost every Friday night. We do 4 rounds, so we've got 2 more rounds after this one.
It appears that Chase is at 7 because there's a gigantic...
Yeah. And we're going to be streaming some Magic Online, mostly Legacy as well. but that'll be kind of random times depending on the day and depending on who's streaming. So give us a follow. That way you can get a notification when we go live.
I may have just talked myself into a deck now.
you just completely brewed a deck.
You still got it back to basics.
I mean, this match is still going. You can finish hashing it out. All right, there it is.
Let's see what's going on in our Grixis on Grixis crime.
Our backup match. These guys are in game 2. Looks
like someone's fighting over a Baleful Strix. Yep, and looks like the fight has been won. Now, should we assume Calvin won the first game?
I think so.
Yeah.
Based off of who went first here.
Well, we don't know who went first, but we... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Bryce is correct.
Probably. Unless Calvin missed several land drops. But
yeah, he just played a second land. I was going to Thought Seize him with that horrifying Thought Seize. Takes a Brainstorm.
You mean horrifying as in not the art is horrifying, but just the card itself is...
And look at Liliana the last... He just really snapped off that Brainstorm into double Snapcaster Liliana. He must have maybe a Spell Pierce. Mm-hmm. Or another Red Blast. This is why.
Well, you just run out Liliana, right? It's got to be Spell Pierce. Oh, he's got a Force of Will too, so he's got some room.
If he has not land, he has Snap Pyroblast for those Snapcaster mages. He knows Corey's going to do this.
Corey's just going to try it.
Yeah, I really like Calvin's playmat, Dig Dug.
Except he's not playing any Eldrazi.
I know, but it's a cool playmat.
It is. And when you're up close to it, it takes you a moment to fully grasp what's going on. When you're at this height, you get to see it really nicely. But
I never bring a playmat because we have them at the store. Yeah. Wow, he let it resolve? I guess if his plan is just jam a Gurmag Angler. The thing is that Corey can go for this Baleful Strix next turn. Okay, command doesn't do it.
Making him discard a Snapcaster, is that?
Yeah, one could play Emrakul the Promise End in this Grixis deck, because why not?
Sorry.
Now, Bitter Blossom would reduce what it costs to to play, right? What's wrong?
Just like, there we go. Okay. Whew. Sorry, guys. Bitter Blossom would reduce what?
The cost to play an Emrakul the Promise End in your graveyard.
There was an Emrakul in a Nick Fit deck during the...
I think that's cool. I could see that. Pernicious Deed is one of my favorite cards.
Yep. And it played Baleful Strix, so you got Artifact Creature just by that alone. It was a Sultai Nick Fit deck. 13 mana Emrakul.
I never got Pernicious Dude for Ugin to catch on. I was really disappointed by that. Really tried.
If it was black green, then maybe.
He is a Pernicious. It is Pernicious Dude.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to stay here and see this, or should we jump back to Miracles versus Dead Guy?
We may get to see some sideboard cards.
About as much Grixis as I can take this last week, but
because you've been playing it.
No, well that and it was featured heavily at the GP because Reed Duke was playing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let's see if Christian can get.
All right, we're gonna jump back. We'll come back to this. Christian starts off with a Leyline of the Void.
Leyline of the Void.
That hits accumulated knowledge pretty nicely.
It stops his AKs. It stops his Snapcaster Mages, which is a really miserable card for a Dead Guy to deal with. Mm-hmm. It's literally good in this exact situation. Yeah. Now, if Christian has looked on the internet and found a Dead Guy list by a gentleman named Wilkin, Wilkin plays one Leyline of the Void this sideboard. All I want to know is whether or not it was still one Leyline of the Void.
That'd be great.
Wilkin is really great.
Also
He's
expensive,
a Canadian player. So
he might only have one just because of the cost.
Could you imagine? And there's a mom. So this is basically a Thoughtseize in this deck. This is going to eat a Swords of Plowshares because you have to. So you basically just duress their swords. Yep.
It did what you said.
It did what you said, yep. And now Dark Confidant, Sorceress, Spyglass. This is a... Woof. I snap name that Scalding Tarn. Keep him off blue. Gotta do that. You gotta do that. Come on. Oh, he named Scalding Tarn. Nice. You never want to draw second line, it's always lay one. I know. Especially not against miracles.
Alright, he sure did name Tarn.
Oh.
Draws the Flooded Strand. It might matter. It's less likely to now. Britain sees an accumulated knowledge, draws a card.
Yeah, the first one's not so bad. We had 15 players tonight. Did I not answer his question? Sorry, Jen. Yeah, this is Friday Night Magic, or Tuesday Night Magic, but it's like a Friday Night Magic. Wow, nice. The thing is, there's just no threat.
Jen returned. Yeah, we're playing 4 rounds. We do this every Tuesday night. These guys pay an entry fee, and there's prizes in store credit. And
oh, I hit the mentor. That's the him that that's him I win, right?
That's the idea. What's nice about what we do on Tuesday nights, and much like a Friday night, is for Legacy,
well, you know what I mean.
People can brew, right? The entry fee isn't too expensive. It's not a huge 9-round tournament where you're cutting to top 8 and you're really trying to win huge prizes or anything like that. And so we get to see a bunch of variety of different decks.
Yeah.
But it's still serious competitive play.
That's a good sign for Christian that Josh played his Scalding Tarn. It's TNL, Tuesday Night Legacy. Yeah. I just referred to it as it's a Friday Night Magic tournament in spirit, right?
Yeah, except there's nothing else going on a Tuesday night except Legacy here with us.
Right.
You got to join us. It's perfect.
It's gonna be football season soon. There's no Tuesday night football. It's the only day of the week that isn't Tuesday. That doesn't have a football game.
Just come back and we're here every Tuesday night. 4 rounds of Legacy.
Only Legacy or even Modern. We only stream Legacy.
Yep.
We very, very... I wouldn't count on ever seeing a Modern stream.
Every now and then we have a stream where we show like a team constructed, right? And then you'll have Modern and Legacy and Standard, and we'll
all right, Matt. We'll see you when you get home. You know you're coming back. Your LGS is closed down. Where are you located?
And we definitely play Modern here. We just are streaming. There's enough Modern content online. You can find it. There's not a heck of a lot of Legacy content.
Oh,
so
didn't you want that to be a Kaya? That would have been so sick.
Gideon's maybe better.
Gideon is probably much better. Well, you're having wife time.
I don't understand.
Really? 'Cause we're both married.
Well, yeah, but it's like past 8 o'clock.
Yeah, my wife's asleep.
Josh draws a disenchant on the Spyglass. Gets to crack his Tarn.
Can't even disenchant that ley line. San Diego East County. I don't know San Diego, unfortunately. Terry might know a place in San Diego, which was... Did you know that was Terry's favorite city? San Diego?
Yeah.
Really, he only mentions it like literally every time we hang out. Bigger Bitter Blossom, yeah.
I don't think I actually remember anything Terry says. He says so many different things.
He says so many things that are just constant words.
It is just a bigger Bitter Blossom. It's true. It's actually harder to deal with for...
And because Josh didn't have access to that spell pierce there.
Yeah.
Never activate Gideon into white mana. See that Terminus.
So here it's actually safe too.
Yeah, he could actually. Yeah, he could get in for 7 here. I always forget which Gideon's which. This is a 5/5, right?
It's a something. It's a Gideon / Gideon. Pretty sure that's what it is.
He's just making it, guys. Playing it safe. this is entirely too safe, but maybe he's worried next turn about like plow, snap, plow on his Rod of Soldiers.
It's a.
I'd say this is a minor misplay, but you know, you're still putting something on the board. You have 5 power. The Gideon of the Trials is a 4 power one, right? Is there another Gideon that turns into a dude?
Don't they all? Yeah.
There's a 6/6 one. There's a 6/6 one.
Yeah, they all do.
And then there's the one that like
one is equal to counters, right?
Yeah, but there's like it's just as terrible otherwise.
No. Goodness, we're getting into it.
We're getting into tribal Gideons. Is there a Gideon that doesn't turn into a creature? Let's find that out first.
The first Gideon.
The first Gideon is Gideon Jura, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Martial Paragon.
Even
the terrible one does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all become a dude. Just different versions of dudes.
You get that Gideon Champion of Justice, all of them, even the horrible one. Which is worse, Gideon Champion of Justice or Gideon Martial Paragon? I actually think Gideon Champion of Justice is a worse card.
Than the brand new one. I don't even know what the new one does.
This one?
Yeah.
This is from like the Planeswalker deck. Because this was an kit. So
okay.
Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Kithian, which
Kithian.
I do believe also turns into a...
Yeah, he becomes a 4/4. They all do!
He starts out as a 2/1. Champion of Justice is worse. I would rather have the one from the Planeswalker deck. First of all, this Planeswalker deck one comes down and goes to 7. Like, you're never beating that. 7. You're never beating a 7 mana or 7 loyalty Planeswalker.
Alright, Josh is going to Terminus here, right? He's got to. Kithian might eventually see some play with the new Mox, right? If they ever print enough 1-mana legends.
I know. I think the thing about Mox Amber is that if you're like, I gotta play a 1-mana legend. Oh, does he have a 5-mana Planeswalker? Oh, it's a Batterskull. I was like, if this is some sort of like Sorin or something, or Ob Nixilis, that would have been so good. Could you imagine? All right. He's basically daring Josh to Terminus here.
Yeah. Well, he's got a Terminus. He's at 6 life. He's got 4 soldiers.
And now a Batterskull.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. I think now Christian needs to, on his turn, not attack into the Scalding Tarn with that Gideon. You just make a dude, you put the Batterskull on it, and you threaten lethal. And now Josh is saying, like, don't attack, don't make Gideon a guy by playing a Flooded Strand. And Josh is tempted to jam this Mentor.
Or Jace.
Or Jace. Jace is tapping out.
Jace just loses you the game, right?
Yes, because
so it's Mentor or nothing.
He has Mentor Brainstorm. I think he's waiting to see if Christian don't do it.
I'm not sure if Miracles was given too much time.
See, now, I think if he had attacked with the Gideon the first time, the game might be over. Because these fetch lands will be shut off.
Yep. All right, makes a dude.
I'm attaching Batterskull here.
Okay, chooses not to. Is there an instant that you keep mana up for in Dead Guy? You could Swords a Snapcaster, I guess, but that's not getting you where you want to be. I guess
you know, I love Dead Guy, L. Zealous Persecution.
Yeah, it's strong.
I was on like a 10. I think I won like 10 out of 11 games where I resolved Zealous Persecution when I was playing this deck.
Back when everybody was playing Pyromancers and True Names.
Yeah, actually it might have been the Treasure Cruise era. So now we can Jace bounce if he wants to. Might have to. Well, Jace versus Gideon is pretty nasty. Secure the waist. Now that would actually be pretty tight.
That'd be surprisingly cool.
I used to think like you could just mainboard Containment Priest and Dead Guy L. Like, why not? It's a thing you could play at instant speed. And, sometimes it's just good.
I actually don't know what's in Christian's hand. He has a Wasteland. That's one of his 3 cards.
There's a Mentor.
With some scribbles on it. Just draws a card.
Wasteland or Tundra.
Okay.
If Christian announces going to combat, I think we'll see a Brainstorm. No. Don't do it. Oh, I see what he's doing. Oh, this is going to be horrible. Accumulated Knowledge.
Drawing a card.
Did he float white? Maybe he floated white off the Tundra. Okay. Is this card Swords to Plowshares? Oh, it's not. Oh, wait. He has one in his hand, doesn't he? That's going to hurt. I thought I saw Swords to Plowshares in his hand. Well,
So-
I guess so if he's considering himself not dead.
Is
Here.
Christian not attacking with his Gideon then? Okay. There he is. It taps, right?
I'm looking.
It doesn't have vigilance. Okay, there he goes. It taps it.
It's indestructible. You can't Swords to Plowshares that.
Sure you can.
Just kidding.
That's exactly what
buddy,
you can
read
do.
the card, my man. Is that just another Mentor, maybe?
They're moving very quickly.
Yeah.
All right.
He
Double
did
jump. Christian gains some life.
6.
Goes to more life. Doesn't really matter.
So that must be a Mentor or something. What? Oh, it doesn't really matter if it's tapped?
Stays tapped.
It stays tapped.
Yeah.
Like, if you were drawing a card for each tap permanent. Should I go out there and tell him? I feel like
It shouldn't matter.
Don't attack. Yeah, I would just make a dude an attack next turn. Christian's play wasn't terrible. It got blown out by Swords Plowshares, but he didn't have it. So sometimes they don't have it. I wonder this late. I would love Josh's opinion on this late line of the void. Probably kind of irritating. Snapcaster Mage just is a dead card.
And your accumulated knowledges that could be anything else are a 2-mana draw card.
Mishra's Factory.
But if they were like
He's got
twice as
Mishra's
before,
Factory. He's got. I'm really a fan of what's going on here. Stoneforge Mystic.
running it all out there. This gets to be a Jitte that
Sword of Fire.
can equip, right?
Jitte could equip. He's got 4 lands.
It's got all the swords. Feast and Famine, Fire and Ice. Is this all unnecessary? The factory's going to get it there, right? That's all you need between.
He had a man land last game. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that's all he had.
He's got to attack here. Josh has to have a way to beat this Batterskull wearing soldier. See, I would have just. I think he just. Gideon means he has to have double Swords of Plowshares if you attack with Gideon this turn.
Unless he set up a Terminus and can cantrip right now, which he can. So it's more risky than it was.
Could have played if he had Surgical Extraction. Oh no! Yep, he's gonna.
All right,
But
he goes
on
for
the
lethal.
on the other hand, this Mishra's Factory cleans up things pretty well. He can just cast sort of.
Yep. And win next turn. All right, Brainstorm. There's a Terminus.
Put back the Terminus. Put back the Terminus and Terminus again next turn. Do it.
All right, Gideon goes to the bottom. Stoneforge goes to the bottom. Knight goes away. And
he could bounce his batter skull.
We've got some swords. Might as well run out of sword.
I think you do it here. Yep.
So if Josh can find a Swords to Plowshares, he gets to keep playing. Or a Snapcaster to block, or a Mentor. Back to basics plus one of those things would be nice.
Ugh. Back to basics would be nightmarish. Was that the 10-minute warning?
I think so. I think our timer's a little fast. Ooh, he's got a Gideon of his own.
I was gonna say it looks like a Gideon to me too.
So do you play Gideon or Jace here? You gotta play Gideon, right? You gotta have a blocker. Gideon plus counterbalance. And then you die to a Swords to Plowshares in Christian's hand.
No, you don't die to it.
Because counterbalance might stop. Well, no, because he could swords and then equip and attack.
Yeah, but you gain a bunch of life, so. A rest in peace. He's got a rest in peace. Just do a rest in peace.
Making sure.
That's a rest in peace, right?
Yeah. He's got a bunch of cards in hand. What are they?
All rest in peace? It's like rest in peace, planar void.
Surgical extraction.
Surgical extraction.
Leads off with the.
Oh well, he's gonna
activate. Attack. Okay.
Chump. Yep.
Didn't exactly do what you wanted it to do, but okay.
Rip is cleaning up the yard for turn 4 Leyline.
Maybe he's on Rip Helm.
I have thought black-white Rip Helm could be a deck you play. It's Dark Confidant your way into the Helm.
A deck you could play. Not necessarily a deck you'd win with, but...
Yeah, Helm. Helm would be lethal here, right?
That guy can do whatever it wants.
Leyline is the way to play. He's got Golden Wish. Get the Helm.
It is very silly that Golden Wish is not Glittering Wish, and that they're different things. Golden Wish doesn't get you a gold card. All right, Jace comes down. Josh gets to live more.
What's that? So Council's Judgment.
Council's Judgment and Terminus. Christian needs to deal with this Gideon.
Ripping Lingering Souls is fine. Actually...
If you took out most of the good
there's
cards.
just not, yeah. He's got the point is, unfortunately, just not a good reason to play this deck. Like, other than the fact that it's sweet.
Yeah, it's fun.
You get to play Dark Confidant.
And when you win, it's fun to win the way you win.
Yeah.
And when you lose, you were disadvantaged in the first place, so it's not really your fault.
Before they printed Gurmag Gangler and stuff.
And True Name Nemesis and
True Name Nemesis. We had what's it called? I would play a Rip in the graveyard, even though my deck had Deathrite Shaman and Lingering Souls in it, because it hurt you or hurt them, or they hit you. But one Leyline, one Rip, that's pretty against miracles. Now on the other hand, did shut off his AKs, made Snapcaster made just a bear.
It almost got there. If he hadn't attacked with his Gideon, if he had just made a dude, it would have gotten there.
Counterbalance trigger. Nope. I can't hear what they're saying. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone. We're listening through the door. Yes, get rid of my own graveyard.
Okay.
You got it. That's it. I can't believe that's the rest in peace.
It really might be.
I gotta go tell him to go to his own graveyard.
It might be his own Leyline of the Void, like 2, 3, 4 or something like that. Maybe they both missed the exile trigger. They can. So game rules violations for both of them. One of them gets a game state warning, and one of them gets a game rule violation. Luckily, we don't enforce that heavily on Tuesday nights. Things happened. Something got...
Not sure telling them is correct.
Killed. Something else got...
Oh, it's not the guy I thought it was either. The guy who went to the U.
So if Christian misses his trigger, then usually what the judge would ask Josh if he wants him to do it. I believe.
In this case, I am judge, jury, and executioner, as I made him execute his graveyard. Look, I really just didn't want to sit here and have new viewers come in and talk about how his graveyard should be exiled if there's a rest of peace in play.
Well, Josh's graveyard was already exiled with the ley line. So.
Once any new viewer just like has total galaxy brain from seeing the ley line and rest in peace in play.
It's a night.
We acknowledge the trigger. We are Magic Online here.
It's kind of silly to play the rest in peace, but okay. I guess his graveyard.
That's literally the only thing that happened was he played the rest in peace, hit the graveyard. I was actually like, I wonder if Josh is like still pondering a counterbalance here. I'm pretty sure they've taken game actions. Did we counterbalance, counter the rest in peace?
So here, dead guy's severely disadvantaged, right?
Oh, he's not beating 2 planeswalkers.
He can make a factory. He can equip the factory with a Batter Skull, and it gets blocked. And Christian goes to a bunch of life, but Josh just is gonna chase him to death, or find a miracle of entreat and win that way too.
Oh yeah, that's a card. I forgot about it. All right, gain 6 of 28.
Mm-hmm. I think Josh just said your life total doesn't matter.
Sludge Hummer is not following.
Well done. Thank you for the follow, sir. I assume, sir. That's a bad assumption. The moment he finds a plow, he can win, as long as Josh has nothing in his hand. You're right. He couldn't beat Miracles with 0 permanents. Now Josh has 3.
And this is really, you can't, this is the Miracles vice. You can't overcommit into the board. He sees the Swords of Plowshares on top of that.
Josh has a Brainstorm. There's a Swords on top. He goes and gets a Light and Shadow.
That's a good one.
That would have been relevant earlier.
Or it's just, does he have a Swords in hand too?
No, he's got a Brainstorm in hand.
So basically he activates that. Yeah. Gotta get that sword down. Trigger. Brainstorm.
Yep, this is over.
Stoneforge Mystic decks are very bad against Miracles.
So he equipped the Stoneforge, even though he knows Josh drew a Swords, but Jace could just bounce if he wanted it to.
Yeah.
Or he could block with a Snapcaster Mage. He just bounces it. Things take a little longer. Josh could attack for 2 here, I guess.
Oh, okay.
3 Planeswalkers. What's better than 2 Planeswalkers? 3 of them.
I'm so used to Teferi hitting the table and then my head exploding because that's how I only ever see it in Arena. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Okay.
Okay.
You need a suppression field. Accumulate.
And we thought the accumulated knowledges weren't going to be relevant.
You thought that was good.
Oh, he plays a Stoneforge into accumulated knowledge.
Play another 2-drop. Poor Christian. He really wanted to.
He needs a mom on board that survives not getting bounced, so he can protect his factory.
He's just gonna Teferi this thing.
I guess that's the only way Josh could lose, right? Is if the sword gets equipped, and somehow
that sword basically just gains him 3 life because the other mode is return a creature from your graveyard. The rest in peace.
It's actually not close, though. I'm pretty sure Josh has this nailed down. He's going to attack for 4. Okay. Might as well. I got these creatures here. Might as well use them. Haha! He blocks. No, he doesn't. What? What did I just miss? Oh, he activated and then tapped to buff it to a 3/3. Okay.
What? That was a block, not an attack.
Yeah.
This is turn 1 of turns. Is that another? That's a sort of fire and ice. Bam.
Light and shadow again.
Wait, no. Oh, because he drew it. Okay, never mind. Did he stabilize it 2 twice? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna use Punishers.
So that's the one play, right?
But Christian's so far ahead. He's at 30.
If Josh didn't have that sword right there, then Jace would have just bounced him though. So, oh no, that would have been it, huh?
That would have been game.
Yeah.
Game of Rooney.
Yep.
Nope, he had a Snapcaster.
He had a Snapcaster. He could have blocked. He could have jump blocked.
He could have jump blocked, bounced with Jace. Well, not bounce the Mistress Factory.
Yeah, those are Beta Plains and Beta Islands. They're signed by the artist, Mark Poole and Jesper Myers.
You're the artist. I forget how to pronounce his name.
I just read it. I never say it out loud. I'm gonna attack you with a 5/5 and some 2-power dudes. Take 11.
Josh wins anyway because it's 101. So
yeah. Back to basics. Okay. So if Christian had made a knight with his Gideon instead of attacking with it,
he did it
through
backwards.
The terminus, it would have worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would have won this game.
He would have won this game if he attacked with the Gideon because Josh would be at -3 right now.
You mean the earlier one?
Yeah.
Earlier on, yeah.
He's got a ton of equipment.
It's equipment versus planeswalkers, and obviously
He's got the
planeswalker
matched equipment. It's got 3 abilities. Of course, it deal combat damage, which will literally never happen.
No. Here it comes. It's equipped.
It's gonna get bounced. We're on turn 3 turns here. Is that what it looks like? Snapcaster Mage.
Josh is going for the win here.
Can he? No, 2, 4, 6. They could do 3, 6, 9, 12.
This is turn 4.
Why does this deck run black?
It's mostly there for Thoughtseize, Inquisition, and then a variety of other cards. Yeah,
Flashback,
we haven't seen Dark
Souls.
Confidant from Christian, so
I'm sure he has it.
Yeah, if you're not playing Counter Magic in Legacy and you're trying to play a fair deck, you really have to run Discard Right, Hand Disruption, in the form of Hymn to Turok, Thoughtseize.
Oh yeah, he had him
Therapy.
too.
Yeah, we saw him. Otherwise, you just really don't stand much of a chance.
Is Josh going to win through damage? He's going to win through damage. This is turn 4?
I think that was turn 4. So I think this is turn 5. But yes. He dealt some damage. All right. Miracles wins. Just the way you thought it would. And of course, our other match is still going.
Yeah.
Still going. Let's show you what's
going on here.
Let's show you what's happening over here. So this is obviously not game 1. This is probably game 3, but it might be game 2. It's possible. It's unlikely.
I wonder what turn they're in. This is turn 1 of turns for them. We've been eternally dirtling here tonight.
Corey's got some shiny cards. There's a Snapcaster Mage, and below that is a Liliana of the Veil. They've got some sheen to them here, some glare. On Calvin's side, he's got Liliana of the Last Hope and the same Snapcaster Mage art. And there's a Liliana of the Last Hope emblem on Corey's side. So he just made 2 zombies.
Miracles used to be the predicted favorite. I would read that message, but I don't know if it's words I shouldn't be saying. I guess I could say Snapcaster.
It's like the soccer player Snapcaster. Is that what you're getting at there? Yeah. The RPTQ promo.
It's gonna kill that Snapcaster.
It's very relevant. Passes the turn. So Corey's got all the things he gets to do.
It's gonna be a ponder, yep. Snapcaster Pyroblast, I bet. Snapcaster Bolt?
You kind of have to stop the zombie horde, right?
Would you pass and just make more zombies instead of attacking them and then get chunk blocked and only making two?
I think that's correct.
Yeah, make him bolt the...
Alright, Ponder just shuffled, found another fetch land. Lily upticks. Calvin discards a...
Horrifying Thoughtseize.
No, that one's not a Thoughtseize. That's a Diabolic Edict. Should have just played it. Why didn't he just play it?
Zaxoliana. What turn is this?
Maybe they don't know they're on turns.
They have to know.
A bunch more zombies. Yeah, there's a...
That's the last turn. And now they're discussing.
So that was probably game 3. Corey emblemed, but just a little too late. And so Calvin's plays make a little bit more sense there when it doesn't really matter. He still could have played the Edict, but...
He edicted himself, it didn't really matter.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for round 2. We have these guys, Calvin and Corey, I think they drew, and we have Miracles winning. And so we're going to have 2 more rounds coming up, and it should be pretty soon here since these guys went to time. So we'll just have a
few minutes of banter.
Jump you back here with us. So let's real quick. We haven't talked about at all, or not really. Grand Prix Richmond.
Okay, let's talk about it.
These guys played Legacy, so we get what, 2 Grand Prix in Legacy a year? Is that right?
Stateside.
Oh, okay.
And then there's one, I believe, in Asia, and maybe also one in Europe this year.
There's not many.
Not many.
So the top 8 looks like this. I'll show you guys. I'll just actually show it to you. Ready? Let's see. Let's make sure. In case you weren't watching.
Wish I had a telestrator right now. That would be sweet.
This is just off of Goldfish. It's just where I quickly found it. So Miracles took first place.
Let's take a look at that.
It beat lands.
This is a really slow Miracles deck. Only Snapcaster Mages. Not even a Mentor in the sideboard. It does have a Baneslayer Angel.
A Baneslayer Angel in the sideboard. Okay. A Gideon in the sideboard.
I see Predict, so no AKs. 2 Council's Judgment. This is
the Back to Basics main.
He's got Back to Basics Search for Azcanta.
I'm surprised.
Despite that, managed to win the Grand Prix. So congratulations to Andrew Caneo. Yeah. This is a very slow deck.
Yeah, you're just winning off Jace most of the time, right?
Oh yeah.
And occasionally attacking with some Snapcasters.
Yeah, there's no other way. So
if we jump back, the lands deck that saw it in the finals. This is kind of, there's kind of 2 versions of lands now, right? Some of them play Richard and Port. This one does. So maybe this is kind of the de facto build now.
Port over the Ghost Quarter, maybe because there's so many basic lands. I mean, Ghost Quarter would have done nothing in this finals.
And there's 4 Wasteland in this one.
Oh, the deck with 2 back to basics main beat land in the finals.
Yeah,
okay. Is that what happened? Okay,
I think so. I think that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, I mean this is pretty standard. Other than that.
Rounding out the top 8, we got another Miracles deck. This one's going to be a little bit different. This one has 2 Mentors main. And
no Search for Azcanta. No Baneslayer Angel.
And then we've got a Death Shadow deck. Teamer Delver, top 8'd. I'm kind of surprised.
Yep.
Stoneblade with Joe Lissette. Eldrazi Stompy deck, top 8'd. And a Grixis Control.
You could have had the same top 8 in March. Really.
Well, this Death Shadow probably wouldn't have
Death
been
Shadow
there,
wouldn't have been there.
let's take a look at that real quick while we're here. The creature package is 4 Death Shadow, 4 Delvers, 4 Street Race, which aren't really creatures in his deck, and 2 Grimag Anglers.
Well, they are for reanimate.
Yeah, 2 reanimates.
When I say here or on the podcast, this is why Wasteland isn't good. This deck has 12 threats. It's got 4 Death Shadow, 4 Delver Secrets, 2 Grimag Angler, and 2 reanimate. Every single one of them is 1 mana.
Yeah.
What are you gonna Wasteland them? You're gonna Wasteland this deck that's all of its lands make both colors. You can't Wasteland this deck.
Yeah.
You can Blood Moon it, but
it plays a 1-of Snuff Out, which is cute.
that's a really good job by Noah getting that Snuff Out through, because very often you're just facing down the mirror with the Snuff Out, which hurts.
Yep.
Let's say have Delver or some other Gurmag deck that Noah's a really good player. He's a very strong player, and I'm not surprised that he did well with it. But I've gone down on the Snuff Outs. I've also taken out 2 Wastelands and played more. I think I play a full set of Ponders. I'm a really big fan of the Death Shadow deck. Actually, I just love Death Shadow.
All right, we've got some more Magic for you. Round 3. We've got Miracles versus Lands.
Look at the mana base list set. We'll look at it later.
Yeah,
Is this Josh versus Paul?
This is Josh versus Paul in round 3 instead of normally they play round 4.
And then table 2 is Davis versus Corey. Davis is on Merfolk.
So what do you guys want to see? Miracles? We just saw Miracles, but it's against lands. It's a little different. Or the alternative is
Grixis versus Merfolk.
Grixis. We just saw.
Well, I guess it could be Tribal Fish. Like a Breaching Hippocamp
versus Merfolk. Yes, that Davis.
I'm very disappointed we're not going to see Terry's Pinecone Control unless he goes on a nice run here. You can put in a request for the last round.
Yep. All right.
Pinecone Control. I don't even get the joke.
I don't know either.
Some Californian thing. Merfolk versus Grixis. Getting deja vu. Remember that 1K we ran? Is that Merfolk versus Grixis?
Yeah, I think so. A little different. Grixis.
Oh no!
This is a Grixis control.
No, that was Merfolk versus Bug, where there were like 30 true. Oh no, wait, was that against you with the 30 true names out, and you were playing Ban Hackbert?
Yeah. That wasn't in 1K. That was just Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what my true name did versus their Lord of Atlantis.
Davis, Curse Catchers the Thoughtseize. Chalice of the Void? Who's that we're projecting? Oh, a Standstill.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. Surprise!
That's nice.
He's got a Mutavault down. Otherwise, this is a not good play, right?
That explains he Curse Catchers the Thoughtseize. Corey has to play a spell to win this game.
Okay. Just what I expected.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Standstill's another one of those cards that I just really like.
Yeah. Standstill's fun. I built a Standstill. I played like a Landstill deck, and it was fun to run, and I think I went 4-0 with it, and I don't think I'll ever play it again.
Really?
Yeah.
You did that here?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing with Standstill. Right now, you just jam into it. He's just going to play a Baleful Strix, which is basically a Standstill.
The thing is because you're on control, you can wait just a little while if you want to build up your mana. Take a couple points of damage off of the Mutavault. But it's kind of a weird timing thing.
If he can keep a Lord off the table...
you mean of the 16 Lords the deck plays?
Well, the Island Walk Lord's really the one he cares about, because the Baleful Strix is going to block everything anyway.
So there's 8 of them.
There's a True Name Nemesis, though, so... if you're Corey, maybe
Corey might have a
Diabolic Edict.
An Edict in hand, yeah. Ponders first. Looks like Davis has a Force of Will, so Edict's gonna...
Strix is bad against Island Walk. Well, yeah, but at this point he doesn't have a, what's called in play? Lord.
Right.
You got to Edict now before that Mutavault gets active, so... And Davis could just force this. Look at this. Just get that Treating Nemesis in play.
That's one way to get rid of a Lord.
Hey, get rid of a Lord. What does it matter? The Treating's got natural, just got like everything walk.
Yeah.
The Treating's got jog. Like it's just. What would you call? I guess unblockable is already a term. You're just having a wasteland
just
here.
Land walk.
Wasteland. You got a wasteland?
Except you don't need a land.
Land walk. Just walk. It's just walk. It's like Pantera. Like just walk.
If Corey's able to find an answer for this one, that'd be pretty impressive. 2 Mutavaults out.
I don't think he has a way to answer this one unless Davis taps out. Tina has denim walk. Corey's wearing corduroys. That's why we call him Corduroy Corey.
Is that why?
No, that's why I just made that up.
All right, Corey's gonna look at some cards. If he finds a Liliana of the Veil, it's still not enough. Wasteland, and Liliana of the Veil.
There's Liliana of the Veil. So all he needs is 2 Wastelands which he doesn't have in his deck.
Yeah.
Or like a Pithy Needle which he doesn't have in his deck.
Right.
And has Skinwalk, which is weird because it's a thing with scales.
Why is it a Merfolk? Why couldn't it have been something dumb that didn't get boosted by...
It's a crazy ass merfolk with like an axe or a sword or like some sort of scimitar. It's just like the whole thing is just an abomination.
But he only comes out at sunset, so you can't really see him. That's why he's unblockable and hexproof and protection.
What are we looking at here? Oh, a Hymn to Torok.
Hymn to Torok gets spell pierced because new arts.
What set was spell pierce in? Ixalan?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just 5 turns. Maybe you draw a
Oh, look, I've got another one.
I actually would not jam that out of True Navy because like maybe he has Toxic Deluge.
Maybe main deck, probably not, but maybe
one could have it. He's just gonna dare him to block this Mutavault. I mean, it's not
right?
Yeah, why not?
Because it's a fish. So
there's
it
a
has to be,
wasteland.
right. I'm saying it.
Oh, now that Liliana doesn't do anything because he's got the Slivergallade up.
It should have been like an avatar or some silly tribal nothing that doesn't interact with anything.
The tribal aspect of it isn't that. It doesn't really matter, you know. Like Grand Architect was this thing. Like if it was black, it would be a bad moon.
Bonder from Corey. He sees cards that don't matter, just like everything else in the deck.
Yeah, always going for the extra land drop here.
Okay, so you play Liliana, you make him sacrifice, then you have Snapcaster for Edict, then you've dealt with 1 True Name.
And then he's got another. He just slammed another trim. Oh, he's got a Force of Will hanging out in his hand too.
So all of the actual Merfolk in Davis's deck are just going to be Force of Will fodder to protect these.
That's
True
the thing.
Names.
Like he's just playing a tempo deck now. He's got 5 power on board. He's got a Daze now too on top of it.
K Command is going to take care of the Adept. Is that? Oh, K Command's going to kill the Mutavault. No, he can K Command both, right?
No, it's not an artifact, just colorless.
Right. K Command's not
just
quite that busted.
Mutavault's a rogue. Gotta get that prowl going. They would have given it Shapeshifter. It almost should be a Shapeshifter. Like it's got protection from you. It's basically like Dark Link.
All right, so you K Command, you make him discard, you kill the Mutavault. You Liliana, make him sacrifice. You snap back.
He's just gonna get this K Command gonna get dazed. He's got a Daze.
Oh, man.
Davis.
He's got True Name, Daze, Force of Will.
He's got True Name, Daze, Force of Will.
Oh.
You can just daze it for value. This is the test. If you're gonna lose a card anyway, yeah, just daze it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even tap 2 lands for the daze. So you're just gonna take 7 here and go to
This
4.
is pretty aggressive from Davis, but I don't think there's anything Corey can do. He didn't need to attack with the Mutavault there.
He didn't need to, but
he can just hold it up anyway, right? It can still.
Well, it does take a turn off the clock if he does manage to deal with something this turn. Now, even if Corey kills the true name somehow, because he has, like, they printed some sort of Black Council's judgment, he still wins with the Mutavault and the Silver Gill Adept.
Yeah.
In fact, it would be hilarious if Corey played the Liliana and Davis just sacrificed the true name. Like, yeah, whatever. It's going to attack with these other 2 things.
Let me fix the time clock for you guys here.
Start time 9:03. 21:03.
It takes me forever to do that.
Oh wait, count 2. I'm sorry. Count to 21:53.
There we go. That looks about right. All right, there's game 1. It goes to the true name Nemesis player.
Davis has been playing Merfolk now for months, and why stop? You know,
it does win things. All right, here's our backup match. It looks just like you thought it was going to look. Paul has the key card, which is Exploration. It looks like he's already got Stage and Depths in play, and so now it's just kind of a...
This is game 2, because there's a Pithing Needle in play, and I would guess that means that game 1 when Paul made like an early Merit Lage.
Yeah. So we can guess that Paul got game 1. It's unlikely that Josh quickly won.
He might quickly lose this one too.
All right, here's a 2020. Stage copying Dark Depths. The copy doesn't have any counters on it. It gets sacrificed.
You board in Tireless Tracker against Miracles, I guess, but you know they have Swords to Plowshares in their deck because
you kind of want them to use their swords on Tireless Tracker though, then, right?
Yeah, I guess it overloads the Swords to Plowshares.
It's card advantage.
These are going to be short.
There it is.
That's got to be game.
Paul attacks and wins.
Yeah, I see a Disenchant in Josh's deck too. So Paul got a couple quick dark Merit Lages through. Pithing Needle, I wonder what that was on. Davis had a mediocre start. I think he had a great start. He played Dude into counter the thing that stops my standstill into Manland Standstill. That's an awesome start.
With Force of Will and Dave's backup.
How many times have you played Standstill and you just never draw your Manland, you know? Like, oh.
Yeah.
Just sit there like with your Standstill.
If you get a Mutavault out turn 1 and Island Standstill, you're doing all right.
I mean, he had to trade for the Thoughtseize. But
that was fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, and he knew Corey had to play into it.
So I think Corey could have, like I said, that game, instead of immediately playing Strix, he could have waited a few turns and taken a few beats from Mutavault. Davis would have been playing a few basic islands, and maybe Corey ends up with more counter magic or something that can protect him.
I don't think main board, this Grixis control deck, has enough counter magic to play that game. If Corey was playing Miracles...
But like
in this game when he's boarded in Red Blasts, that's a line you could take. Yeah. Davis may have boarded out Standstill in the draw though.
But if you had 3 lands and K Command or something else as your play off of Standstill, it probably just doesn't resolve at that point, right?
I mean, I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I think that the instinct is you just pop Standstill as soon as possible while they're tapped out. Like, you have nothing better to do. Yeah. And like I said, Baleful Strix is essentially a Standstill. You get a creature, you draw a card, and if they don't get an Island Walk guy down on you, you can trade. So it's basically 3 cards for 1. It's a badass scar. Do I have a scar? Or someone else have a scar? One of them have a scar?
I don't know. Somebody's got a scar. All right, here we go. Game 2. They're waiting for us to tell them to start.
I think they're having a discussion about whether or not he should have jammed to that Standstill. No, I don't know that.
It is curious, right?
So what do we got here? I see a Diabolic Edict on Corey's wrist, or he has big veins. I actually do believe that is a vein. Pithy Needle. So you're going to Pithy Needle Mutavault, and that takes a lot of draws off of, and that makes the Edict a lot better.
Or if he goes Vile.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I think you wait to play the Needle, right? It's hard because you can jam it out into no counter magic, or you can.
He's thinking.
Wait. Corey's deck is better equipped to handle a lot of things that are not Mutavault. So I can see naming that.
Now this puts... It's very unlikely Davis has Spell Pierce. But you still have no information. He doesn't have Vile, though, so you don't really care if he draws Vile.
No Stifle. That makes sense.
Stifle would be a bridge too far.
Yeah. It'd be kind of fun just to play one.
I'm going to order all the cards for Fish right now.
What
do I need? I just need a bunch of merfolk that are like $70 probably.
And you could play Standstill. Surprise!
I have Standstills and I have Mutavaults. And I have Islands. So I'm halfway there.
Some Vials and some... Okay, so instead of Hymn to Torok, he goes Baleful Strix. I'm pretty sure he has a hymn in hand.
Phantasmal Image on that Baleful Strix would be...
Lord number 1. The Lord that gives all other merfolk Island Walk and +1/+1.
This is actually a pretty strong start for Corey. Just raw card advantage here. If he has some way to kill this Lord.
I think he's got a bolt in hand, so I think you just do that now. All right, Hymn to Torok.
Ooh, we heard it from outside too. We all did the same thing.
Maybe you just go to game 3 right now, right?
That's why I gotta play Basking Root while like outside.
It would have been fine if he had hit just one, but hitting both is pretty strong. Okay, so Lightning Bolt does resolve and attack for 1.
Davis had to know that was coming when he was turning his hand over too. He's like, gonna hit both of these true names. He's even got that Flusterstorm too.
Yeah. All right, Lord number 2. This one just says the same thing, right? Or is it all?
Surgical Extraction.
Rainstorm resolves. Ooh, Snapcaster Mage. If Corey tries to go for like Snapcaster Bolt, then Surgical's going to take care of that.
Or Flusterstorm. Fatal Push. No, that's going to eat a Flusterstorm. Yeah, that's pretty good. Even though I traded... Here's the thing, though. Like, what if you boarded out to board in these Flusterstorms? I guess maybe the what's it called? Standstills. So it's not like a creature, but you're just kind of hoping to trade the Flusterstorm for a removal spell, but you just have another creature in your deck. But he probably board out the Standstills. Look what he's got in his deck. He's got Flusterstorm. He's got Surgical Extraction. Yeah.
It is. Oh,
he's going to image this thing now? Or do you image the Gurmag Angler?
I think you...
Problem with image on the Gurmag Angler is that he can Fatal Push it.
Yeah.
But you have Surgical Extraction.
You know what's dumb is Phantasmal Image on a True Gnosis.
Yeah.
That's a dumb thing.
That would have been a nice hand.
He did that to me once. And it felt not good.
So this is a 3/3.
Can be blocked. It walks over the islands, which makes no sense whatsoever. Swims in the
got an island swim.
Yeah. Okay. Curse Catcher still came in, so now I don't know what came out. Maybe it's just Standstills came out.
Standstill's out. Some amount of Flusterstorm and Surgical Extraction came in.
Corey's side, we saw Pithing Needle and Red Elemental Blasts, probably.
Yeah. Toxic Deluge if he has it. And he probably took out... Actually, we're not quite sure what comes out here. Thoughtseize, not great. Though it's okay on the play, but he could get rid of it. Hinotorok stays in, because you're just really going for hard quantity.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring in the Pithing Needle, you're probably just...
So, at the moment, the race is... They both have 6 power on board, right?
Davis has 9.
Oh. Yeah, the Curse Catcher's bigger, too.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna go for Snapcaster. His Surgical Extraction is gonna bail him out, big time. Trigger, and you're gonna.
There's a Curse Catcher as well.
Yeah, but you want the Curse Catcher in play.
Yeah.
If Corey had like a Spell Pierce here, it wouldn't matter. He could always Curse Catch the Fatal Push. Yeah.
Surgical Resolve.
And we're gonna see Double Brainstorm and a Diabolic Edict. So Corey goes down to 5, and he can attack pack for 8, which would put Davis to 2. In fact, it looks like he took out Liliana the Last Hope, which may kind of make sense. I don't think the -2/-1 really does anything. So I'm trying to think who's favored here. What do you think?
I think Corey has better draws, but Davis could just top a Lord and win, right?
Topping a Lord would give not get him to 14. Curse catch this? I don't think so. I think you want to go to... He's going to be tapped out.
Those just
He can't cast the Diabolic Edict. So you might as well just wait to trade the Curse Catcher for the Edict. Assuming that's your smallest guy.
So, knowing Davis might have Flusterstorm. No, Surgical Extraction. Playing the Edict would have been the better play for Corey, right?
Did he know he had Surgical Extraction?
No, he just might now. He didn't know he had it. Hand,
I wouldn't have guessed it was there. My guess is that Standstill came out and 2 Flusterstorms, 2 Surgicals from his sideboard came in. He probably doesn't have any other sideboard cards that are really relevant. Unless he's got probably like Blue Elemental Blast, which isn't really any better than Flusterstorm.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for you.
I'm more interested in what came out than what came in. You could have taken out Days on the draw.
Mm-hmm. Replacing Days with Flusterstorm and Surgical seems good. Because Standstill's still fine. It still does.
Yeah, Corey isn't exactly like jamming dudes.
Right.
So like it's not like he's gonna have a threat down.
Yep. You're gonna have a 2/2 out before the Grixis control deck.
I think you gotta swing out here. Now, what are Corey's potential? How can Davis lose this game? Because Corey's at 5.
So K Command wins.
Pithing Needle that also came in, so who knows what's going on the other side of this table, on the other side of the table here.
So is this going to name Jace or Liliana of the Veil?
Edict, Curse Catcher. Oh no, you can't trade the Curse Catcher for the Edict. Well, I guess just let it resolve and sacrifice the Curse Catcher. Davis really needs to draw a creature there, though.
Yeah.
Because if he's got 2 pieces of removal, anything that hits that the Phantasmal Image dies with Stiff Breeze. So he's gonna have to Edict, let the Edict resolve. Corey needs to brainstorm here to try and find
Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt, yeah.
Yeah, K Command doesn't do it because of the Curse Catcher. Unless he brainstorms into land and K Command.
He's got a number of draws here. I think you want to lead with the Ponder, maybe? What do you do in this situation? You go Ponder first or Brainstorm? He's going Ponder.
You have... So, the current Grace's control decks are only playing like 2 Lightning Bolts. And then 2 K commands.
So you don't see it here. You're going to look at 4 first.
Yeah. So this gives you more looks at your 1 or 2 O's.
Yeah, this is right. You Ponder. Okay. You shuffle, and you get a totally fresh top for your Brainstorm.
Yep. Corey's making sure it's really shuffled. Island Walk is good. Not as good as Mountain Walk, huh? I'm not sure about that.
What do you got there?
If he goes Edict.
You got a curse. Yeah. I think you got to trade that off there because he's going to do 2 upstairs. But he could target the Phantasmal image. That doesn't work, does it? Yes, it does because he only attacks back for 3.
Yeah. So if he did it to Davis's face, then that's lethal, right? 5, 6, 7, 8 power on board. He's at 10 life. But he's got to target the image instead.
Does he have... If he goes to the face, he dies because the Curse Catcher sacrifices to counter this, and then he attacks for 6 next turn.
He found what he wanted, but it's not going to do what he wants.
I think Davis is trying to do that, but if he goes for the Phantasmal image, then...
Corey loses.
Corey doesn't lose because... Oh, yeah, because he can still sacrifice the Curse Catcher. Okay, I see what you're saying. I was thinking that... No, because the Phantasmal image dies no matter what, so he can't actually counter it.
Right.
So now this that thing's dead.
He has to target the image.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So Corey's only at 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. That's why you target the Phantasmal image.
Yeah.
But because it's been made the target, it's dead.
And then
he makes
a discard.
Yeah, that's why.
Or he could destroy the Pithing Needle if he cares.
Oh yeah, he probably should have done that instead of doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay, he gets to leave back a blocker.
There is no blocker. Oh, the blocker's for the Lord. Okay.
The Lord currently
doesn't give itself Island Walk.
Right.
So if he draws out the Lord, he wins.
The image was copying the Lord.
Yeah.
So it would have been lethal without the image.
Davis is only at 7? That can't be right. He was at 10, right? And then he just took... Shouldn't he have taken 7?
He just took 7. So
he should be at 3.
He's down to 3.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There we go.
So unless that card in his hand is exactly a Lord, he's dead. You can't... He can block the Snapcaster Mage.
Alright. Takes 2. That one is Island Walk. Goes to 3.
It's another Curse Catcher or an Aether Vial. Or Vicious Factory.
Okay. Still alive. And he's got an Edict that ends the game.
Edict ends the game. Okay. And also he can attack for 3.
That was 1-1.
On top of that.
They get a game 3.
Interesting situation. Because I was sitting here like I knew I had figured it out that if he hits the image or the image, he just dies.
Let's take a peek.
That was a good play by Corey.
Oh,
other than doing nothing rather than Pithing Needle.
They finished very quickly. All right, so these guys have a game 3 for you, and then we've got one more round of Legacy after that.
See if we can find a Merfolk list. Can you?
Oh.
So I would search for the card Curse Catcher, and then let's scroll down and see if there's a Legacy. There's a few of them. I saw them up there. Right here, yeah.
Recent decks. This one went 5-2 in a Legacy Challenge.
I just want to see what so he's got 2 Flusterstorm, 2 Fairy Macabre in this build.
I'll show you guys this real quick. Here's a list. A Legacy list. This is probably not in Davis's build.
Yeah.
2 days.
This one's also not a
Echoing Tree,
standstill.
This one's a Chalice of the Void deck instead.
Let's see. Let's look at some other ones. Maybe we can find one. They're all Chalice decks.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Chalice decks aren't going to have... they're not going to have Surgical Extraction. So...
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to know what the numbers were there, but we don't have his exact deck.
There's one more.
This guy, not Seamaster, you know, he's not going for subtlety. You know?
A trickster.
Kosi's
okay,
Trickster.
Okay.
Instead of, well, you don't think Daze Fish is going to do anything.
All right, here we go. Game 3.
All right, now Davis is open on a vial, which
Round
is pretty
3.
nice.
Does Corey have the Pithing Needle? He's got Thoughtseize. That's could be quite strong. You keep most hands that have vial.
Oh boy, this had to go back.
Hmm?
I don't think you can keep this hand that has vial.
You only need to draw a Lord and then or a True Name or whatever. But yeah. Yes. Davis's list is different. We were just looking at Legacy Fish lists. So you take the image, right?
Why? I just take the Spell
just
Pierce.
the Spell Pierce. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, he's got nothing. This image is doing nothing.
At the moment, but it will do something.
And then he can just...
There's just so much
he
removal.
just- yeah.
It just targets it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a K command gets to do what it did. Davis is playing with the known cards up. And then he's got one unknown.
It sucks, but I think you had to throw that back. If this is a him, which it looks like it might be...
Then you've got vials and nothing else. What if he plays him and he hits the True Name Nemesis that's right there?
So... just roll for the card he gets to keep.
Oh.
Oh, see? That's why you roll for the card you get to keep.
That's great. It was a True Name. Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's left with an island.
This is where sometimes those are backwards, but I don't really care.
Yeah. Adept draws another card.
It's a True Name.
Oh. Okay. Wow. That's about as good as that turn could have gone. It gets around Edict.
Swingy. Let's see that land Toxic Deluge.
Corey's got a lot more answers than he did last time we were in this position. Last time Davis had a Mutavault out, which made a lot of the removal not work.
What a draw. Fatal Push and Diabolic Edict.
And Edict.
So you push the...
Those are answers. A Bolt and Edict would have worked.
Davis just loves making me crazy.
He keeps switching his vials.
Which vials are which.
Alright, here's a Mutavault. Mutavault's gonna get eaten by a Snapcaster push.
Yeah. Or that.
Okay.
I think you just go upstairs and don't let him draw a creature. What's he gonna do? Attack Jace? Okay, Jace goes to 3. Goes upstairs again.
Yeah.
Don't let him draw a creature.
Yep. Fate Seals leaves it on top. So it's anything that's not a creature, pretty much. I guess if it was, yeah, even if it was a Curse Catcher. Jace goes back down to 3. Doing it again. Lord of Atlantis. It's probably going on the bottom.
Gotta bottom that, Corey. Gotta bottom it. I know you're tempted.
He's got answers in hand to it. So
the thing is, the Snapcaster... Oh, I guess he can Snapcaster.
Yeah, see, Corey knows this is what he was going to do. Vials in the Lord.
So he's going to go Snapcaster.
And then Fatal Push. And then block.
Okay, yeah.
Davis goes, yeah, you got me.
That's a very interesting lesson for all of you kids out there. about keeping your double Aether Vial hand with one creature.
Yeah, that you can't.
And that creature doesn't do anything. I know that you looked at the hand and you said this hand has Aether Vial.
Yeah.
My deck has 39 creatures or whatever. Oh, I wanted to see what we're going to see what got taken in or brought out. So 1, 2, 3. An Echoing Truth. Still stand still.
Still there.
On the play, he could have brought it back in.
Yeah. You keep missing the alerts for the stream. Don't do that.
You should join our Discord.
Yep, if you want to join our Discord, you can do so like this. And we often will mention when we're about to go live as well. At least I do on Tuesdays. I don't know if we do on Fridays.
This Merfolk deck we have up has 4 Ceremonious Rejection and 4 Energy Flux in the sideboard.
And it went 5-0. Magic Online.
They hit all Eldrazi post decks. What do you think was going on there?
We also do go live at the same time every Tuesday and Friday night. It's right around 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on Tuesdays and right around 7:30 Fridays. Jorgensen, it's only taken me about a year, but yes. What have you missed so far? We just saw Grixis Control beat Merfolk. It was some fun plays, some interesting gameplay, actually. We saw Miracles beat...
No, we saw Lands beat Miracles.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Previously, we saw Miracles beat Dead Guy Ale.
Yeah.
And in the first round, we saw...
Eldrazi Tron versus...
Bug Delver.
No, not...
or Dark Thresh.
Dark Thresh.
Yeah.
It wasn't Eldrazi Tron. It was Cloud Post, right? Eldrazi Post.
Yeah. Eldrazi Tron. Yeah, I guess it's not, whatever.
We don't have Storm in the house today.
Do not have Storm in the house today. I did consider just playing Storm tonight, but then I was like, nope. Cards out.
We do have a red-white painter deck. He went 4-0 with that last Tuesday.
Dark Shift. Yeah.
A
Dark Shift on my short list for today.
We have a deck that's titled Pinecone Control.
Which I think is like a Stoneforge deck. I don't understand the Pinecone. Is there a Pinecone in an art that I don't know about?
I don't know. We saw Dead Guy Ale with some interesting choices. And we've got a Nyx Fit deck as well. There's some interesting stuff. What do you guys want to see for round 4 as like our backup match? We've seen all of these guys, so we're gonna probably see Corey versus Lands as our undefeateds, or Corey's got a draw, right? So
does Corey have a draw? I would guess that I think he scooped to him because he had like 9 zombies, and if there was like 5 more minutes in the round, he would have won.
Yeah.
I think that was the implication when Calvin extended his hand.
This Nick Fit Walker's deck is kind of interesting. I think it could be red-white painter.
So Lennon went 4-0 with that, huh?
Yeah.
Good for him.
I was playing the Reed Duke Grixis control list.
Yeah.
So I bring in 2 Hydroblasts and 3 red Elemental Blasts against Painter.
Yeah.
He names blue. I have all of the, that's Painter tech, right, that I get to bring in, and somehow I lost. It was rough.
I once lost to Red White Painter because he named red and then had a circle of protection red.
That's awesome.
Couldn't even be mad. I literally had no way to win. In fact, if I recall correctly, I had somehow made it so he couldn't win with the card Grindstone, but I still had to kill his painter because I had to get there to Delver. That's the only thing I could get through with. Everything else was red. I was playing blue-red Delver. Got a circle of protection red. Yes, he should not have named blue in the sideboard. In the sideboard, he should named black or something.
Yep.
I'd actually be interested in seeing Stephen Davis's Jeskai Delver deck. That would be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's curious. He's been playing blue-red Delver, and so maybe it's just a touch of white or something.
No, you realize that, blue-red Death Shadow or Gurmag Angler. You need that Sword Splashers.
maybe that's incorrect. I don't know what the white would be actually. Yeah, we gotta see. Let's see what this. No. Let's see what this Pinecone control is. It's probably just a silly name.
It's like a Stoneforge deck.
Okay, then that'd be fun to see.
Terry, Pinecone control. I just want to know why it's called Pinecone control.
Yeah, you name your deck that, you gotta see what it is.
I just don't get it.
I like it, Paul.
I don't even get the joke.
Paul, do you know what the deck is?
I'm trying to think of a card with a Pinecone in the art. Can't think of one.
We still have a little while here in this round.
Should we go back to looking at the...
Do
you have any alters?
I don't think I have anything new, actually, at the moment. I'm working on a bunch of different stuff. Yes, that's what Terry's playing. That's what he named his deck.
I thought he was playing Stoneforge when he was talking this morning.
Oh.
Or this
Be
afternoon.
right back.
Yep.
Squeeze by. I'll ask. I'll take a quick look and see what he's playing.
I'm going to stay on this side. Ooh, should I make Bryce say MT chair? Uh-oh. Just backhand. MTGO? See if I can figure this out. Oh, uh-oh. There we go. Okay. No, you're not really sure what the deck is? That's too bad. Let's see. Let's look at Grand Prix Richmond. I want to talk about this deck. Tomoharu Saito on Rug Delver. What do you think of this? 4 Bomac Courier. The internet moves at the speed of light. Yeah. Oh, MT Chair? Yeah. This deck, this Bomac Courier, Hooting Mandrills, you're basically only playing green, so you can play these 3 Hooting Mandrills and what, 2 Sylvan Library in the sideboard? Now, Saito got to 14th place, so what do I know? But boy, this was, I know. If you guys listened to our podcast, you would have heard Jonathan Sukenik say, even if Bomac Courier was the right thing to do, I wasn't going to play it.
I don't know. I'm letting chat decide.
It's just a bad card. Well, look, 14th place. How can you argue with results?
So Terry's Pinecone is just blue-white Stoneblade.
Yeah, that's what I figured because I thought he was talking about it earlier. We're now talking about Saito's Rug Delver deck with 4 Bomac Courier.
Is this, did it top 8 or
we got top 14. 14th place. Which you're playing green for these 3 Hooting Mandrills.
Yeah.
Sylvan Library, some flashback on Ancient Grudge. I still can't believe we got to 14th place with this thing in his deck. I guess you just discard all your Dazes and Stifles when they have lands, but then you've already lost.
Bomac Courier can work. It can provide card advantage against some decks, right?
Sure. It's still, I don't know. just gets me. This is pretty much the same. He's got the Throne of Geth. Bomat is decent in a list that cuts down on card draw and is trying to dump their hand and refill quick, which is not this super reactive tempo deck with this many reactive spells. That's the point.
You get to discard cards for Hooting Mandrills. And
I guess I'm trying to see why play green here. You play green because you want to. The decks didn't do so much as the players did. Shadow is horrible, yet Walker did fine with it. Shadow is really interesting. Sometimes, if you play it online, the meta is really adapted, and people just sort of know what to expect. But it's not that bad. You can really, if you're a Grand Prix and you know who knows what you're playing on for day 1, Reanimate's often good against the kind of decks that you don't see very often.
Mm-hmm. Or all of the show and tell players or the Reanimator players or something like that.
Yeah, Thoughtseize Reanimate your thing. Work. Yeah. But it's not good against like Miracles, Lands, Miracles here. You know, Reanimate's really bad. Shadow is very easily hit it out, I agree. In fact, I think that the card Lightning Bolt is way worse for this deck than the card Swords of Plowshares. Because Swords of Plowshares just kills your Death Shadow, right? But Lightning Bolt kills you, and then you just don't get to play anymore.
So this is probably pretty close to what Terry's playing today.
No, unless
He's 3-1 with it.
it's probably closer to what Davis is or Stephen Davis is playing. It's terrible versus. It's not that bad versus Miracles. It really isn't. Maverick was tough. Lands, I actually have been okay with against Lands. Lands is pretty slow, and you could just like kill your life total and then attack them for 9. If you can keep them from getting one of their lands out that really hurts you, like Dark Depths, Maze of Ith, or Glacial Chasm, you're fine. They have to find that stuff. You can just counter every loan when you attack for 6 every turn. Anyway, this is probably close to what Stephen Davis is playing because he's got the Delvers.
No, I just looked at Terry's list. He's got Delvers as well.
Oh, okay, so maybe he's playing this.
Yeah.
Is that a pine cone?
Dig Dug, yes. We stream paper just like this. 4 rounds, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, Jorgensen, right? Because the Miracles doesn't clock you, so you can just take your life total down. They Source of Plowshares your thing. You just do more shock lands, and then just play another Death Shadow, or you just play. Like
I think Miracles is advantaged over Death Shadow.
It probably is, but Death Shadow has certain draws that are good, like Thoughtseize, like Fetch, Shock, Street Wraith, Thoughtseize.
So this is kind of curious. Lost Mystery says Death in Texas is pretty strong. There's no Death in Texas in the top 16. I'm kind of surprised.
I'm surprised too. I think Death in Texas is very good. He played through 2 swords. Yeah, because the guy just cast a bunch of removal spells, and then he just probably kept playing more 9/9s. Yep. I don't know. Noah doesn't have any tech in his deck. There's no like Berserk. It's just D&T has been hated out. Yeah, that's the resurgence of Grixis control, Bryce, right? I
guess if it's the number 1 deck at the tournament, I don't know what the actual.
Let's look at Aaron Rubin's 16th place deck. Let's see what his Grixis Delver deck looks like. This is the Jonathan Sukenik build with 2 Bitter Blossoms, 19 lands, and I'm gonna plug Eternal Doors. The Jonathan Sukenik interview was really, really good. He was really interesting. He's got a point of view, and he is not afraid to share it. He's a really good interview.
So where do people who haven't heard any of your
You go to any podcast app. We're on that. Just search Turtle Turtles or hipstersofthecoast.com, and you should be able to find them there. But he basically just plays this like a control deck, and he's like, "Well, why would I tap a bunch of lands for my threats when I can just play Delver for 1, and then maybe I just get that Delver, Daze, Wasteland, Spell Pierce draw, and I win that way, or the game goes longer and I grind them out with Bitter Blossom." Post the link. Go to Hipsters of the Coast, I guess.
Oh, I'll do that for you guys. Hold on.
We can switch to us if we want to.
There we go.
Eternal Turtles right now can understand these. Sorry. Click Zach there.
Not here.
Yeah, because there's like 30 podcasts.
Oh, right.
And click Eternal Turtles, maybe that. No, click the words. Yeah, it does it. And scroll down. And you can click this headline here, and then just post that link.
So this just plays right here. Okay, okay. There we go.
And you can find all the rest of our stuff.
So is this the interview you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the interview I was talking about.
There you go. Sounds like we've got pairings for round 4.
You're welcome, David. Hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so like I thought, we have Paul, who's playing lands, versus Corey on Grixis Control. As our backup match, we're going to have James, who's playing...
Jeremy, when are you coming back to play some Infect?
Eldrazi Post versus Blue-White Stoneblade.
Eldrazi Post versus Blue-White Stoneblade is going to be a Royal Rumble.
That should be interesting. It'll be fun to watch. So these guys are getting seated and shuffling up. I'm getting their names up. So why is most of the high-level Magic discussion in podcast form. Why do you think that is? Why do you guys do it instead of articles or... Because your site has articles as well. Right?
Yeah. Well, funny you should mention that. Paragon City Games is going to be doing articles soon. So we will have some legacy articles on this very site. Mm-hmm. I think podcasts are just fun, you know?
And maybe because there's different points of view on every single deck and every single strategy.
Yeah.
And so if you're writing an article, you often get just one point of view instead of the dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of legacy podcasts right now. A lot of them are good. I have nothing against any other legacy podcast. I think that you should listen to them all.
What are your other favorite ones?
I like Eric Virgo and Cyrus Corman-Gill's Top Down Legacy a lot. I like Dead Format and Leaving Legacy out of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. That one's quite new, right?
Dead Format is Leaving Legacy is actually the current, I would say, the oldest active legacy podcast.
Oh, okay.
They are our label mates on Hipsters of the Coast.
Nice.
My favorite Magic podcast is So Many Insane Plays, though, and I think everyone should listen to it if you don't play Vintage. Because it's...
Which one's that?
That So Many Insane Plays.
Okay.
That's Steve Menendian and...
You say it so fast, I couldn't even hear you.
So Many Insane Plays. Everyone should listen to So Many Insane Plays, though.
Why do you like it so much?
They're very analytical. They're very analytical.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll give you a lot to listen to, a lot to digest. And the lessons, I think, are applicable for card evaluation and stuff like that, are applicable across formats. But if you like Legacy, it's not that different from Vintage.
Yeah. Let's say our start time is...
Legacy Breakfast, which is a British podcast. When they put out stuff, I also like to listen to them. You get that different perspective from totally different country, which is nice.
We're gonna cut off a few minutes there.
Their recap episodes for big tournaments are longer than the tournaments. So Many Insane Plays 6-hour Kaladesh review was just they should teach that in colleges. And actually they could, because I think Menendian's a professor.
That's great.
This 6-hour Kaladesh review, and you know what? They turned out to be right. It was definitely worth 6 hours to talk about Kaladesh for Vintage. And a lot of other formats, it turned out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I believe these players are 2-1 going into round 4 here. And our backup match, we have Corey and Paul, who I think are undefeated, Lands versus Grixis Control, which we've seen a few times. So we're gonna show you something a little different. This isn't a usual matchup in Legacy. I'm sure it happens, but
yes, Salt Mine is good. I don't know how regular they are right now, but yes, out of Australia, another good way to get a perspective from other regions. But yeah.
Terry's playing his land way up in the top left, just to be difficult.
That's right. I was like, did he fetch? What's going on? And I forgot that it's Terry, and he's gonna have like a stack of lands.
Just to confuse you, just to keep you on your toes. You got to pay attention. If anybody is interested, if you want to take a look, that link right there goes to a Facebook page I do for some altars. I often show off new ones I do on stream when we're in between rounds, but I haven't done anything new just this week.
Well, Captain QC, it's okay. We still love you. 60 card Highlander content from Australia. Can't remember if it's Salt Mine or something else. Yeah, that it sounds cool. 60 card Highlander. I remember that when I was a kid. Did you ever play that?
No.
because you had to, because you didn't have playsets of everything
Sure.
before you had money.
Okay.
No, seriously, and I'd be like, oh, look at this deck. It's got one of everything in it. We should just do this.
Most of my decks probably fit that format.
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
yes.
No, I would say we would take our 2-ofs out, and put them down to 1
You
just
would
for
intentionally
fun.
do it. Okay.
The Eternal Turtles t-shirts. If you become a Patreon for like $10, I think we send you a free one, which I guess is a $10 t-shirt.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I would waste.
So
Yeah, that's Canadian
the
Highlanders.
Flooded Strand is in the graveyard. The other lands are in play.
The Wasteland.
There's other cards going to the left.
He's playing lands in front.
Things are moving around.
You live in Barbados? Do you guys fire Legacy in Barbados?
All right. Batterskull comes down. Germ tokened. James is.
That 2 Glimmer Posts?
Yep. He gained a little bit of life, but isn't going to do much with him right now. Why are his lands up there? It just cause. If it tilts you, then he wins. All right. There's some life exchanging happening where Terry gains some life, James loses some life. And a Delver. All right. So Terry's got
2 Delvers.
and he's got a Daze in hand. So I think James is in trouble. James drew all of the not.
Well, I'll tell you what.
lands.
If I ever go to Barbados, I'll bring a deck, and I'll message you on Twitch.
Terry goes ahead and dazes the
Matter Reshaper?
Matter Reshaper just because
Oh, and look, he gets to flip a Delver against
he just gets the flip.
James.
He doesn't even want to flip him.
He's gonna put some 3s on
He's
there.
just like this game's over. So
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Terry very nicely is going to edit James's life total, and he doesn't even need to gain the life. Ooh, okay, he drew a land. Nope.
All his dust would not have done anything there.
Nope. Terry very quickly gets game 1. That was just the bashing that you expected. The 2 heavyweights going toe to toe. Didn't quite happen. All right, here's our backup match where we've got Grixis Control on your left versus Lands on the right. And Paul's got the exploration. He's Life of the Loaming and Coast Quartering basics. Wastelanding non-basics.
Oh. He's got Dark Depths in hand. Corey just
Corey
like,
says,
whatever.
nope.
Listen.
Those were 2 quick games. So now we got to go to the favorite part of the Paragon City stream where we watch people shuffle.
It's Shuffle Cam.
Maybe you get a glimpse of some sideboarding happening here. Looks like Terry's bringing in Council's Judgment or no, going out. It's got some
You would
swords.
take out Council's Judgment?
That's what it looks like.
Is that a back to basics? Let's look at this deck.
I don't know if that's his list or not. Where is it?
So transparent. Stoneblade 10th. It is. And you know what? Terry asked
To borrow some
back to basics. And he's got 3 islands, 1 plains. So yeah.
Yeah, all he needs to do is get a
I keep thinking this is Jeskai Delver. But it's
Delver
not.
down and
Yeah.
then back to basics in play. So
And
back to basics comes in.
It is the list from the Grand Prix. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. You're right. You were right about that, Bryce.
That looks pretty close.
Why play Stoneforge Mystic? Why not? Just play more true names.
Because it goes and gets you equipment.
24 ways to flip Delver. 2 Jace.
Yep.
He flipped his Delver naturally with 24 spells. And we watched Zach go 5 turns with 28.
This is what we think his list is right here. Terry's blue-white. Owen Turtenwall played it to 10th place at GP Richmond.
I'm actually kind of into this deck. I just don't think I'd play Stoneforge Mystic. I just play more spells. so I could flip my Delver. I guess you really eat it to like a -1/-1 effect.
Going and getting a Jete is probably game over, whichever creature you have out, right? And if not Jete, then Batterskull.
This is testing the Sekenic theory. Just play Delver of Secrets because it's the cheapest thing you can do. Yeah. Anyway.
Even if it doesn't flip.
4 Spell Pierce.
That's aggressive. I like it.
I'm not sure I own 4 Spell Pierces. I remember once looking for like a 3rd Spell Pierce.
It's been reprinted a lot.
I know. I'm just gotta get it.
It's in Modern Masters 2017, Ixalan, Zendikar.
And it's an invocation.
And it's an invocation.
It's $2 invocation?
No.
It's a $60 invocation.
It's a 75-cent invocation online.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Game 2 for these guys. James is going to be on the play. Looks like Terry found a...
I didn't know it had been reprinted. I thought there was only a Zendikar version because why would you?
For a while, it was like a $4 card or something.
Is that a Richard Kane Ferguson Zendikar? That looks like his art.
No.
Is he still around? I don't think he still does it. He probably doesn't do that, does he? It was like his last card.
Nope.
Remember Richard Kane Ferguson?
Oh, yeah. Dak and Blackblade. And
yeah.
Sulcanard the Swamp King. Those are great.
Wait, was he the guy who always did the crazy fiery art? Like he did like Arcane and Nile?
No. I don't think so.
This is the one I'm thinking of, and you can't read it.
Yeah, it is.
This is what I think of. That's why I kind of think it looks at Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is bad TV.
It's perfect TV. You guys can play along at home and Google it yourself.
Bryce, why don't you tell us what you think of the spoiled masterpiece-looking planeswalkers from the Ravnica spoils?
They're 10 years late at getting around to what the altering community was doing.
I thought you were gonna say like they just blew up the altering community for no reason.
No, because they're so expensive. You can pay an altarist to do it for less than what they're gonna charge you.
I don't understand. Do they really look that different? I mean, it's just like a borderless altar, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay like $75 to go factory made?
I guess.
You think it's a waste?
It's alt art.
They're already full art cards, right? Basically with the translucent text box. Yeah.
I think masterpieces are a decent idea. I don't even dislike the price point. Like the San Diego Comic-Con cards that were done by Therese Nielsen, they're going for $250 right now.
Yeah.
So if they sell at Hasbro for $250 and you get some packs, okay, people are going to pay that.
I literally had no idea that there was that they were being sold as a group. I just thought there was some sort of weird promotion.
No, yeah. So you're going to have to buy them from the Hasbro site for $250, and you get 24 packs.
You get the FTV foiling.
It might be. I don't know. We don't know what the foiling is yet, do we? I don't think it's price fixing.
So they aren't $400 each?
I think it's finding what those promos sell for and finding the correct price to sell them at.
I should probably know what the actual pricing is. So it's a Ravnica thing?
So yeah, you get a weird draft box of 24 packs. 8 of the packs are separately packaged and guaranteed have one of those walkers in them. So you get all 8 walkers for $250.
Yeah, that's
along with some packs.
Yeah.
But
I just don't like foils.
They're not special enough for me. They looks very much like something that has been done for 10 years.
Terry's in rough shape here.
They'll be $400 if Hasbro sells out quickly. If Hasbro makes them very limited, which they don't have any reason
Don't we know what the blue one of these is?
The blue what?
I gotta look at. People were saying if we get a Jace the Mind Sculptor, I have no idea.
No.
Do we know what's going on here?
We don't have a Jace. We don't have a Liliana the Vet. We have a Liliana the Last Hope.
Is this guild kits?
Yeah, right there. They should be right there. They were posted on the.
No, here they are. Shockland's masterpieces. Okay.
They were posted on the Wizards website today. If you guys haven't seen them.
Okay, we have they're part of the Guild of Ravnica Mythic Edition, which is $250. You get 6 and 8, so there's 8 of them.
Yep.
But they're all here.
No,
Oh no, there's two Rals.
So the other one that hasn't been shown is the new Vereska.
I'm a big fan of Duretti just as a card. This Duretti, I love it.
The Tezzeret's cool art, right? If you play Tez, that's sweet.
But they do just look like alters.
Yeah, very much so.
This Ral is so disappointing.
And depending on with the foiling, they might just end up looking like bad proxies, like bad printed proxies. All right, hey, these guys are playing Magic. There's a back to basics on the field, which hurts James just a wee bit. But he's got a Chalice on one, a Monolith, which isn't going to be doing much, a Matter Reshaper, and a Ballista with one counter on it.
Yeah, I don't know what Terry can do to get out of this. He's got a Swords to Plowshares, that Matter Reshaper, and he can't do that.
He hopes to just draw a land and put out a True Name, right? And then he wins.
Does he have a True Name in hand?
Yeah.
See, went down to 8 there.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to burn money to get a chance because they're guaranteed all 8 of these walkers in this $250 set. Yeah. So the altering community, before there was really people painting Magic cards and really altering them, there was people doing digital alters, right? And this was one of the very first things they did. Was they called them Super Art Planeswalkers, and they look just like this.
The thing is, I don't think this art looks as good without the paint, the texture of the paint, this kind of thing. They just look like.
Sure. Here's a link. If not here, then you can just go to the Wizards website, and it describes kind of the process.
Looks like Terry gave up on this one, or he just died because he was at war.
We'll show you guys game 2 over here of Grixis versus Lands.
And this is how Grixis can win. Looks like we got a Surgical Extraction on Wasteland. And a Gurmag Angler.
So gamble here, because Wasteland's gone, you're getting Life of the Loam or you're getting Crop Rotation, right? That's what Gamble's probably getting here.
I think you just get Loam and then you're just gonna dig for your combo.
Or you get a Maze.
You can also dig for Maze with the Loam anyway.
Yeah.
Corey's got no graveyard, so Paul knows he doesn't have to worry about Snapcaster Surgical. That's gone.
He doesn't have enough turns to start digging.
Is Corey playing another game while he's doing this?
I think so.
This is
Multitasking.
This is our 4-0. This is our 3-0 match.
All right.
It's just like
one of these gets discarded at random. There's a few of them. 7 cards. 4. The one in the middle is a stage. Probably not what Paul just gambled for. But if he did go get Crop Rotation, then he probably wanted that stage. So
he doesn't have another land? The deck is called lands. Or maybe he already played a land?
Yeah, if he went Wasteland, this is his turn 3, so that makes sense. The deck is called lands. That would be pretty surprising if his hand is just all non-land things.
Is that a Maze of Ith on the end? Maybe he gambled for that.
Yeah. Yep.
And he had a Loam in hand on top of that, so even next turn if he didn't get it. Now Grixis Control doesn't play any Wastelands.
Not anymore.
I got Maze of Ith so many times I just started playing Wasteland, 2 Wastelands any deck. Because, or like Sabo's Web. That's a good one too. Why did they pick the bad Duretti? They didn't. They picked the sweet Duretti. The one where his things can like crew vehicles.
It's kind of a legacy playable Duretti, right?
I think this Duretti is good. It just hasn't found a home yet.
All right, Pilling Needle. Do you name Ghost Quarter or do you name Stage?
They picked the shitter one. I totally disagree. That's okay. The other Duretti, I guess, has more just obvious utility, but Chandra Torch of Defiance exists.
I think it's kind of weird that here's this $250 set of Planeswalkers, right? And the ones you pick, okay, most of them fine. But then you're going to have 2 of the new ones That's a lot of faith that your new ones are going to be viable at all. They've been increasing the cost of planeswalkers to make them.
Well, just look at Ral compared to Teferi. Like, +1 draw a card, untap 2 lands. Versus Ral's +1 is also draw a card, but you put the other one in your graveyard. -3. -3 is the bounce versus like
damage equal to the number of instant sorceries
you own in exile and in your graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's might be a standard playable planeswalker, maybe.
Oh, I don't think so.
In a very specific deck that will have
Teferi is just so much better.
Right.
And isn't there another 5 like the 5-mana Tezzeret's better?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm surprised that they even put any standard.
This could have been one blue-red with the exact same text and would have been borderline playable.
Or even just put the other Ral Zarek in if at least it gets played in some things.
Teferi is really good.
Yeah. Teferi's decent.
Also, by the way, I do think the red Daretti is a good card. I just Daretti in Genius Iconoclast is a card that really I just want to get it to work. You can crew vehicles with these defender tokens. Like, I had a Daretti vehicles deck. It was just too slow for Legacy.
I was going to show you guys.
Also, I really need to top.
But we got distracted. All right. Here's our other match. Here's James versus Terry. They're on game 3. They are 1-1. And we're actually going to watch.
Yes, Captain QC. It is a great card that has not found a good deck.
Terry's on the play. Wow, I swear I just updated that.
Smuggler's Copter is a good card. So, yeah, that's all you need. You can crew, but you get Heart of Kirin is great with this. You make a dude, you take the counter off to crew your heart anyway. So you're just getting other dudes. You're just getting like a bunch of dudes.
And then you can sacrifice all of those things to
just blow
destroy
up
an artifact or
yeah,
creature.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually have a use for that vehicle.
That Daretti has the ultimate to interact with the discards. Now this is like a control card though, like, and the vehicles are just like incidental value. Gotta answer this text message from my wife.
All right, Terry started off with a Delver, and he taps his Delver for mana. No, he moves his Delver to the side while turning it side. No, he attacked. That's what he did. So James is down to 20.
Right. I think what we're saying, Carrion Lich, and what Captain QC is saying is that the other Daretti has a deck already.
But yeah, the special lands are actually pretty sweet. Let's see if I can find those real quick.
This card doesn't have a deck yet, but is potentially a good card. Oh yeah, these are really interesting.
If you go to this link, this is just another Goldfish link because it's the site I was on. And you scroll down just a little bit, you can see these lands that are in the guild packs, and I think they're non-foil in the guild pack, and then you can get a foil for a Ravnica Weekend, and
wait,
they're
what?
cool.
I gotta start reading these articles.
This is a promo card.
Ravnica Weekend.
Yeah, so you're gonna play with like these guild pack things for Ravnica Weekend. I don't know exactly the details on it, but
James has access to 5 here.
They're cool.
I think he's just gonna go for this Thran Dynamo.
They use the text box and put in a guild pattern on basic planes, so there's a pair for each guild.
He's got an interesting hand. He's got a bunch of. Looks like he's got 2 Karns. Thought Nuts are probably correct. Now Terry has a back to basics.
That's gonna end the game.
He's gonna have to either counter this Thought Not Seer or brainstorm this to hide this back to basics. This is just.
Oh, he's just gonna run out Batterskull. Can he? Yeah,
you couldn't counter it.
Back to basics goes away. Exiled forever.
But now, oh wait, no, he doesn't have back to basics now. Duh. Okay, maybe we'll draw the second one because Terry is way luckier than our previous person we saw in this deck.
If they had these guild lands right here in the $250 thing, I maybe would buy it. if they had a selection.
I find the text box is more interesting than the art.
Yeah.
The art's
absolutely.
just way too digital. Like just.
Well, these are foiled, so the picture is foilized, right?
Yeah.
And there's a non-foil picture there, right? So they're okay. If you scroll down further, there's a plains and a swamp.
This forest with the little spirits is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because like here's the guild, here's the swamp versus the swamp.
Yeah.
All right, Terry gets to ponder. He shuffles and draws a.
I can't name the last set that wasn't digital art. Was Mirrored in digital art?
Well, there's a few.
There's the Circle of Protection Black and Alpha is digital. It's just
There's most of it's like 80-90% of all of the art is digital now.
My favorite era of Magic art.
I would guess it's Mercadian Masquerade.
Mirrodin was digital. There's an Eternal Witness right here. I guess that looks pretty.
Therese does everything. She does everything original or traditional still.
Still?
Yeah. So that's hers is. But there's a couple in every set that are traditional still.
Yeah, there's still a couple paintings. Yeah. We're looking at here. These are just random tokens. Does he have my coast? Looks like paint.
I think that one's traditional.
I'm just an old school guy. I like the like Richard Kane Ferguson art. I like Drew Tucker, like that era of art from the dark through like Ice Age.
He gets a Wormcoil engine down. Okay.
Yes, it does appear this is the Owen deck.
Yep. A lot of people are a big fan of Rebecca Guai.
Do you think those must be paintings?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Everything she does is traditional. And hers was almost removed from Magic entirely. There's a whole story there where it wasn't Magic enough, and then fans kind of uprised and made sure she came back later.
And her and Therese are great. And like not all the digital art is bad. It's just some of it's so busy.
Hmm?
Like that Jite is probably digital art, but it says a lot without being.
You like both of the Foglio arts?
I like.
They did a lot of art really quickly. If you look at how many cards they did in a short amount of time, it's pretty impressive.
The Foglio art, it was just it had like a feel, you know.
Yeah. They're at I believe they're still at San Diego Comic-Con each year. They do. They host a thing.
My dad was like a comic art collector, and therefore he knew the Foglios. He knew of them, and that was like my way to convince him that Magic wasn't stupid.
So that's a flipped Delver with a counter on it.
This is a very interesting situation. James has a Wormcoil engine.
Yeah.
And he just gained a bunch of life off that Glimmer Post. He just gained 5. Anyway.
What?
Is that an Ulamog?
That's an Ulamog. He gets to exile 2 things.
And that looks like it's about it for Terry.
Terry gets beaten by a bunch of mana.
Yeah, the Back to Basics got whacked by a... Look how different that would have gone.
Yep.
Back to Basics got whacked by a Thought-Seer.
Yep. Which would have made the
Well, there you go. That was that deck is interesting. You would make that deck awesome. Crucible Wasteland. That's how Dark Shift started. Did I ever tell you that?
No. Dark
Shift started as a blue-white Stoneforge deck with Crucible of Worlds Wasteland. And I said, wouldn't it be awesome if my Crucible could also wear equipment? So I should splash green for Ramanop Excavator.
There you go.
Yeah. Then I had the green in the deck, so I just put the Hierarchs in.
This is an interesting board state as well. Paul's down to 5 life. Corey's got enough creatures that he actually gets to get in damage to this Maze of Ith. He sees a Ponder, a Force of Will, and a Volcanic on top. Probably just wants to shuffle those away. Oh, no, this is a Brainstorm, sorry. I guess you keep the Force of Will in case of Punishing Fire, since it actually matters. Jace just Fate Seals himself. Magali is great.
Yeah, she really is.
She takes a really long time to sign cards.
Well, when she's not being
which is
detained
fine
by the Border Patrol.
Right. Yeah, that's
she gets a chance to sign some cards.
But she's great.
There's a number of Magic artists right here in Utah. Howard Lyon lives in Provo.
Yeah, Howard Lyon and
actually, he might live in like
Steve Argyle.
Part. Yeah, Steve Argyle also lives here. And there's one other Magic artist that my wife met, and just turned out to be like a random Magic artist. She met him at like some event here. I forget.
Oh yeah. It could be a couple.
Yeah. It wasn't. I was like, oh, is it Steve Argyle? No. Is it Howard Lyon? No.
There's Jeff.
She couldn't remember his name.
Jeff, and I can't remember his last name.
Jeff actually sounds like correct. Like that was the guy's name.
Maricoli or something like that, who does the Bouncing Beebles. He hasn't done cards for a while. Anyone know when the Commander cards will hit Magic Online? I have no idea.
I LOL'd Mac.
Alright, Riftstone Portal gets discarded to Mox Diamond, another stage.
But no Dark Depths.
But he can copy the Maze of Ith, right?
Yeah.
And survive?
Oh, he can make a number of Mazes of Ith.
Yeah.
If he hasn't already.
It looked like two. It looks like he only had one Maze of Ith for last turn, but here's a Snapcaster. So Paul's going to cycle. So that's an end of turn Snapcaster, right? And Corey gets it there. He's got just enough damage to get through.
And die because it will be tapped. You're right. Okay.
So
So
I
maybe
believe Corey went undefeated.
yeah.
And Eldrazi post went 3-1.
Is that correct?
Probably. With that many players. So real quick, I just want to show you guys these if you haven't seen them, and then we'll call it a night. If you didn't click the link, then you can see these.
Yeah. I find the text boxes interesting. I love the fist.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the art necessarily, but it's a really interesting idea that these are guild lands, right? So these are the Selesnya ones, the Dimir, Boros. You got the Izzet and then the Golgari, and then we'll have the next batch with the next set. But this is what they look like without the foil, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job on something that.
I do like that forest, but I'm not a basic land guy. I just play revised lands. I'm so boring. Just play revised lands. Like all my dual lands are revised. Like just easier.
All right, guys. So that's gonna finish it for us here tonight.
Yeah.
If you haven't and you want to, give us a follow. That way you can see when we go live. If you really want to, you can throw us your Twitch Prime subscription, and we'll let you. And we'll be back here Friday. 2 other casters Friday. I'll be back here next Tuesday. I'm usually here with Kyre. And you're going to be doing some...
I'll stream from home, most likely on this account, maybe Sunday night. Maybe a couple more nights. I'm going to be in for a while.
So you're going to play some... What do you have lined up?
I may play this blue-white deck. Seems kind of cool. Maybe I'll put Noble Hierarch and Ramanop Excavator in it. And just play that.
Just play that deck. Right on. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
See you next time.